So here is the bracket. We're going to keep this up for a while just so that everyone can see it. Let's make it a little bit bigger. But we're going to be seeing a pretty big match today between, what's it called? Deerfield and Lane Tech. McLakes and Unit 5 are going to be streamed on a different account. And then once these two games finish, me and another commentator, Insane, will stream this match together. And then we will stream this match together. And then the tournament will be over. Unless the loser's bracket wins this, then we'll have a bracket reset. But yeah, so we will be streaming this match right now, which is, this is a pretty big game. And it will be best of 5 as well. These two teams have won both of their games. They have gone the farthest with the most wins. And so we are going to see how they do today against each other. All right, we are in the lobby. We are currently trying to find a sub for a team. I believe we just found one. Which is pretty good. Alright, we have found a sub for the team. Alright, let's get this graphic off the screen so we can see what is going on. Alright. So, Lane Tech and Deerfield, you have until 2:12 to be ready to start. Let's see how this goes. I'm also very curious on what the results are going to be for the other game. Because that will be a permanent elimination for either McLakes or Unit 5. And McLakes came into this tournament very hot. Unit 5 did not come in very well. They lost immediately to Lane Tech, but they've made a pretty good losers run so far. So I'm curious how they're going to do going against McLakes, who had a good run as well, but also got eliminated by Lane Tech. So they're both teams that have been eliminated by Lane Tech. Meanwhile, Deerfield, both teams that they have faced, have been eliminated by Unit 5 or McLakes. So. Alright, they got 4 more minutes to get started. Let's see how this one goes. My predictions are that Deerfield is going to go very, what's it called? Very attacker heavy to kind of counter the all-rounders that Lane Tech likes to play. We're going to pull up the other streams, see how that one's going. They have not started yet. Oh, their lobby closed because of being open too long. That's pretty funny. Alright, they got 3 more minutes to prep for our game. 2 more minutes. If they just tell me they're ready before then, we will start. Oh, they said ready. I did not see that in the little chat thing. All right. Let's see this ban phase. We have a Mimikyu ban right off the bat. A Mega Lucario ban. It's interesting. Doesn't seem like these teams have really scouted each other out that much. They're more just banning the strong things that are out right now. Delmai's ban. Miraidon ban. Banning those mages they don't want to deal with. That's smart. Are we really going to see a potential Gengar ban? The one speedster that they know Lane Tech has? A Hoopa ban. Banning that strong support from existence. And they're banning the Umbreon. And you saw they were going to pick Umbreon, so that was a good ban, good target ban. Let's see what Deerfield pulls out here. What they're going to prioritize. Probably a defender or support. No, grabbing the long range Gardevoir, going for that already, just that long range attack. Not wanting to go for any kind of support or defense here. Grabbing that Blastoise, that is very interesting. We have not seen a Blastoise come out from Lane Tech yet, so that is an interesting pick. And then picking a Blaziken as well. Meanwhile, Deerfield picking the Snorlax, another great tanky Pokemon, and looking for a support and choosing the Clefable. Definitely a strong counter to the dashes that Blaziken has on him. Let's see what Lane Tech picks here. Probably going to go for a support and a carry. Might just grab the consistent Blissey. We know Existence has a very solid Blissey. There's the Blissey pick. What is going to be this last pick? A Pikachu. Getting that long range onto their team. Might go the Volt Tackle Electro Ball build. I would not think it is the preferred set here, but we will see. Looks like they're going to be grabbing Suicune as more of a damage dealer here, and Ceruledge as their assassin. Oh, switching to the Espeon. Getting that mid-range again. We saw this a lot yesterday. They were going Venu and Espeon, just getting a lot of poke damage, a lot of long-range damage. Oh, and Endetics case hovering over a Pokemon that he cannot pick. There is a Talonflame pick. Interesting, going for that assassin. Something that a lot of other teams were missing when playing into Deerfield. These are interesting picks for sure. Making a few swaps around on the side of Deerfield. I'm very interested to see how the Blaziken plays around the attackers on Deerfield's side. I would give this draft to right side. They have the Pocket Blissey for their Talonflame and their Blaziken. They have the amazing ult from Blastoise that can really just disrupt this other team from doing what they want to do. They have Pikachu to keep the front line away. I do think Volt Tackle Electro Ball could work here. It's not very effective against Espeon, but it can work against Clefable, and it can work against Ceruledge especially. But I do think Thunderbolt can really easily shut down the healing coming out from Clefable, which I think they may really want. So we're going to see how this goes. I definitely think the draft is better for Lane Tech here. They have a much more well-rounded team. And Talonflame is an amazing counter to both Gardevoir and Espeon. So I assume the Snorlax and the Clefable will be playing very far back to protect this Gardevoir and this Espeon, and they will be saving their Unite moves to save them. Alright, let's see the lanes here. I'm guessing Oh, it looks like Espeon is going to take jungle for Deerfield, and of course Talonflame taking jungle for lane tech. Blastoise Pikachu lane, very strong early game. Oh, looks like Gardevoir is actually taking jungle. I like that. Oh, looks like one secure goes over to Blastoise, the other goes over to Espeon there. Pikachu getting real low here, manages to eject and dodge that tackle from the Snorlax. Deerfield set up for this farm right here. Pikachu just not there yet. Still very distracted, manages to catch on as the Blastoise is heading up. Does not have the secure ready after that Blastoise hit it. That is unfortunate. Oh, Espeon misses their burst there, does not get the kill. Meanwhile, up top, we have a gank coming from the Talonflame, and Talonflame manages to help this Blaziken get a kill. And he gets out on such low HP. Still looking for something here. Could very easily just die to this Gardevoir if he is not careful. Especially with the amount of burst that this Gardevoir holds. Blaziken heading back up top lane, or Torchic heading back up top lane. Might want to try to get this farm from the other team. Does not manage to secure it. That does go over to the Ceruledge. Oh, trying to stop this Clefable from stacking. That is a very dangerous thing to be letting Clefable do. Blissey does manage to secure that, and Torchic has to pop eject to get away from that Clefable. Gardevoir does have its level 7. Talonflame is still struggling to get it. 8 Minute has spawned, and Gardevoir and Espeon are here. Looks like they're going to go for the rip. Talonflame does have his level 7. I am guessing he is Fly here. It's getting really low. He needs to be popping his Fly to secure it, and Pikachu manages to steal it from the Gardevoir there. Talonflame managing to get out on 1 HP. Pikachu killing the Snorlax who was resting in their face. Talonflame popping that Fly, maybe trying to look for a kill here, but realizes he is a little too far in. Backs out. Bottom lane looking a little worse for wear here, and we have a 3-player gank coming from this other team. They might need some support down here if they want to not get poked out. That's 4 players from Deerfield down in this bottom path. Pikachu is doing a lot of work right now to kind of keep them off of their backs, but getting bursted down by the Gardevoir. Blastoise with a big push, keeping them away from his Pikachu. This Blastoise is putting in the work. There's the Volt Tackle, push away. Electro Ball did not lock on, sadly. And Talonflame still coming in here with pretty low HP. Kind of needs to be going back to that goal zone to heal. Cannot be in these fights on this low of HP. Manages to dodge all of the moves there and steal the farm. Grabs a berry, back up to full basically. Now we have a 4-person gank down here, but only 2 from Deerfield down here. Looks like Clefable's going back up top. Blaziken is trying to look for picks. Can't find anything. Might need to back out. Meanwhile, down bot, you have 2 people camping in that bush. Blastoise showing himself. Might want to just get a surf off here. There's the surf onto the Snorlax, keeping him out of vision area. Blastoise just trying to zone as best they can. There's the Talonflame Fly. Misses both of them. Has to eject out, but gets caught by the Espeon and the Snorlax and goes down. Had Unite move for survival, but just did not pop it. And there's the Snorlax perfectly zoning them out, keeping them within range of the Espeon and the Gardevoir. They managed to get this goal zone down to 10, almost broken. Talonflame is back now. Gardevoir is pretty low. Can Talonflame get this kill? He does not. He's just out of the range, but he does manage to get the kill on the Espeon. Trying to look for this Gardevoir again. Decides to back out instead. Camping in this bush. Gets a Blissey ult on the wrong person. And doesn't even use the Fly to kill the Snorlax. That was very awkward. There's the Gardevoir ult on the Blissey, trying to get this kill. Talonflame popping his Fly so early, looking for a kill, and then just opting to hit the objective instead, bringing it down to the HP that they needed to secure it. Meanwhile, Blaziken is trying to hold down a fight by himself in top lane, but cannot beat the Ceruledge. Blaziken heading up top with this Blissey on his tail, trying to look for a kill here. Just hits the Regieleki, backs out, gets it to stun the Ceruledge. Pikachu managing to try to get a 40 off, but does not get it off. The score differential is massive here with 0 points from Lane Tech scored. Espeon slowly hitting this, trying to bait out something from Lane Tech. There's the Surf going in. Talonflame flies but does not hit anyone. Blastoise backing out. Does not want to get poked out by this Espeon and this Gardevoir. There's the middle birds, immediately bursted down by Deerfield. The Gardevoir ult misses everybody. That safeguard was so valuable. Talonflame poking them out a little bit here. Ooh, Blastoise getting bursted down, but a big ult coming out and a Talonflame ult, killing the Ceruledge immediately. Clefable looking a little bit low here, manages to back out with those heals. Does still have ult. Purple Aurora on Blastoise has to back out. Lane Tech not really able to get anything done there. They get one kill, but then they're too low to continue their push there. Pikachu, meanwhile, holding down bottom lane against this Snorlax. Talonflame trying to make something happen into this top lane here. He has the damage to potentially kill this Gardevoir, but they are staying so close on their goal zone. Meanwhile, Blaziken looking a little low on levels, might need to just back up, take some farm. There's a lot of farm down by. A big Ceruledge ult coming out, killing the Blaziken. Blissey ult to try to save the Blastoise, but they have no goal zone to retreat to. Clefable pops their ult, gets Blastoise low. Talonflame goes in with the fly and misses. And it looks like this just gives a free objective to Deerfield here, just bursting it down immediately with all of their moves. Blaziken and Talonflame backing out, trying to take this fight on their goal zone here. Blaziken in desperate need of farm. Deerfield looking for a potential invade here, but doesn't want to really engage on that Blaziken. Meanwhile, Pikachu and Blastoise holding down bottom lane as Espeon comes down. Looking for that pick on the Clefable, but no one was there to capitalize off of it. Pikachu going in with that Volt Tackle, hitting the Snorlax inside of his block. Blastoise almost pushing them out of the Talonflame fly. Talonflame has to eject out. Talonflame just can't get much done here. The farm gives away his position. Blaziken gets massively poked down by that Espeon and that Gardevoir. That stun from Espeon is proving so useful for this team. Big Talonflame ult scooping the defender and the support from this other team. They are trying to keep them over in this area. Talonflame flies into the gravity, unable to move. Big Ceruledge ult coming out, killing the Pikachu. Blastoise poked down. This Blaziken is still level 10, unable to really get anything done, just too low level. Snorlax poking him out, and he's still going in. Blaziken goes down. Lane Tech has 3 ults up, so does Deerfield. Deerfield might look for a rip here, but they know they don't have to. The score gap is so massive here. Lane Tech just walks right into Deerfield's trap here, but there's a big Blastoise ult followed by a Blissey ult. Pikachu does go down to the Espeon ult. Talonflame almost dies to the burn from Ceruledge, doesn't grab the berry and goes down. Blaziken focused on this Ceruledge a little bit too much, just unable to really get any picks off on him. Blaziken going, no, doesn't pick up the berry. Running around looking for backcaps. Oh, the farm stopping Blissey's score here. There is 2 scores from Lane Tech up in this top lane for a very close gap of this score now. They only need a score of 100, but they only have 45 seconds to get it done. Pikachu with ult down in bottom lane trying to kill this Gardevoir. Oh, bringing him to 1 HP. Blissey, unable to get the score off, might just go down here to the Espeon. Manages to get out on 1 HP. Blastoise looking for a sneaky back cap again here. Gardevoir healing up, unable to get the jump pad off on time. The score difference is now very, very close. Talonflame was sitting on that gold pad for a long, long time. He's looking to just counter any scores, but they're not in the lead. I guess they assume that they're in the lead here, but they don't have the points to actually win this game. And Talonflame goes down, the only defense. That's a bunch of scores from Deerfield, and Deerfield is going to take this first game. That is rough. Yeah, you can see the Blaziken did a lot of damage, but was just so low level throughout most of those fights. Same with the Pikachu. Pikachu level 11 there. Looks like Unit 5 has won their first game against the team of McLakes. Alright, looks like Lane Tech will be taking first pick. Alright, now we're going to wait for them to be ready. Let's bring back in the bracket. So currently, Unit 5 is up 1-0. Deerfield is up 1-0 against Lane Tech here. So Unit 5 trying to make that losers bracket run. Deerfield trying to keep their seamless run through winners. Making sure we remind Switch players to restart their games. Deerfield is ready. So is Lane Tech. We are going to start it up. This is going to be best of 5, so the game is long from over. We could still see 3 more games, even 4 more games coming up. Pretty standard bans from what we've seen before. There's the Umbreon ban from Lane Tech and the Hoopa ban. So exact same bans as last game. Doesn't seem like anyone thought there was a big enough issue that they had to deal with. And now they have Ali's in here. Let's see what he's going to grab. He's going to grab the Ceruledge right off the bat, stealing that from Galadovin. That definitely seemed to be an issue for their team to deal with, was those Ceruledge ults just chunking through their HP. There's the Snorlax and the Gardevoir, a great pairing that we saw work really well last game. Meanwhile, Lane Tech, let's see what they're going to grab here. They might go for a support and a damage dealer here. Oh, going for the Trevenant and the Espeon. Maybe trying to steal this Espeon from Deerfield here. Force them to choose other options as their second attacker. Let's see what they pick here. They might just grab the Blissey, which was very good for Lane Tech last game. Yep, looks like they're grabbing Blissey and Buzzwole. Going for more of a brawler here rather than an assassin like last game. I do think the Trevenant pick is interesting. It could work if they can close the gap past the Snorlax. Meanwhile, grabbing Clefable here as healing, the 2 supports that we have seen in both of these games, and a Zacian. We know Lane Tech has a very strong Zacian. That Pokemon has been through a lot of patches, though, so we are not sure how strong they are now. Venusaur, nope. I was thinking they might just go back to the old bread and butter of Venusaur, but they're going for the more off-meta pick of Cramorant. Maybe trying to throw off Lane Tech a bit more here, but in terms of draft, this is so heavily in Lane Tech's favor. They have the Assassins for these backliners. They have Clefable to stop Buzzwole from getting things done. They have Trevenant to keep the stuns on their front line. They have Espeon to poke them down. They have no true assassin for Espeon. So if Lane Tech's front line can hold down and allow the Assassins to get flanks, or at least just go from front to back on Deerfield's team comp, it is heavily in their favor. However, last game we did see how easily the attackers were just able to poke down Lane Tech, and Lane Tech was not able to get anything done in terms of diving their backline. So we might see a bit of a switch up in terms of play style of Lane Tech, in terms of how they are going to dive this backline, because they were having a very difficult time doing that last game. Alright. I'm getting this started. I'm guessing Gardevoir is going to be jungling again for Deerfield here. Yep, looks like it. Meanwhile, Ceruledge is going to be jungling for Lane Tech. And I know they did just sub in Ali's as their Ceruledge player. He is not currently in their VC, but he is still going to be playing for them. Espeon and Trevenant down bot. Espeon using their secure really early here. Does manage to get one of the farm. Cramorant gets the other. Meanwhile, up top, Zacian does not have a lot of points. Looks like he kind of used a bit of them and got chunked down pretty heavily by this Buzzwole. Going in again, losing a lot of HP there. Almost got the kill, but did not manage to secure it. That was really aggressive for the little amount of HP that he actually had there. Clefable standing outside of their goal zone there, almost goes down. Cerulege ejects to get closer to this Blissey, does not manage to get the kill yet. The burn killing the Blissey there. The Blissey there. Gardevoir up top, Cerulege going through mid here, neglecting the 850 birds. Gardevoir just bursting these down for free. Lane Tech does manage to get a good amount of those. Cerulege going for the flank on the Gardevoir scares him off. Little bit of an off-tempo playstyle here for the Clefable and the Zacian. But I wouldn't say the tempo is any better for Blissey and Buzzwole here either. Meanwhile, down bot, it looks like this Cramorant and this Snorlax are dominating the Trevenant and the Espeon. There's the level 5 for Trevenant. Very, very important for that character. Using the secure early once again, just kind of letting this farm fall into Deerfield's hands every time. Zacian perched in this bush, gets the jump on the Blissey, immediately killing that Blissey. Looks like Lane Tech is just going to try to go for the secure here, does manage to get it with the Cerulege, poking down this Snorlax, just neglecting all of that Gardevoir damage. Cerulege managing to live on 1 HP. Trevenant trying to push into this Cramorant, but cannot close the distance. Cerulege backing to goal zone. Clefable heading back up top to help out this low HP Zacian. And they do have farm spawning soon. Lane Tech is not aware of the 720 birds, just not there in time. Opting to go for the safe farm here as Clefable rotates down bot. We've got a 4-man push down bot for Lane Tech, but only 2 from Deerfield. Looks like Cerulege is just immediately going for this rip, while the rest of the team kind of waits on their side, not really gaining vision for him. There's the Trevenant stunning, but no one sees the Cramorant there. There's the Cramorant's vision, and Espeon manages to secure it. Perfect secure there from the Espeon. Snorlax a little caught out here. Espeon misses their Psyshock, but they do get the kill on the Snorlax there. There's the stun on the Gardevoir. Bitterblade misses just barely. Oh my goodness, and every move hits the Cerulege. Zacian did manage to steal the top lane and is chunking down this Blissey heavily with his Sacred Swords. Clefable coming up to help him out. Regieleki is about half HP now. If Lane Tech wants to make something happen with this objective, they gotta make it happen now. Gardevoir coming back up to help this out. Does manage to get some of the middle birds here. Gardevoir does get the stun on the Cerulege, but Zacian gets through. Big Cerulege ult coming out. Gardevoir ult catching the Clefable. Gardevoir still really low here. Blissey ult saving his HP here. Cerulege still in this fight. Very high HP, actually. Gets a score off. Clefable also gets a score off. Cerulege still in this fight, trying to keep them away. The gravity goes down. Zacian trying to maybe get some points here for another engage. Lane Tech just managing to get points off of that engage, no real kills. Meanwhile, down bot, we have Cramorant just consistently outranging the bottom lane of Lane Tech. Just constantly poking down this Espeon, poking down this Trevenant. And they are not really able to get much done. The points are much closer this game, but are not as big of a gap. Last game we had 0 points on the side of Lane Tech until the final 2 minutes. Here the points are much lower and much closer. Espeon trying to poke down Cerulege, getting past the Snorlax, getting caught out by this Cramorant. Cramorant ults to try to kill this Cerulege, does manage to get the kill. Now they are just ripping through the objective as Lane Tech has to back up on very low HP here. Trevenant maybe trying to look for a steal here, but not getting vision of the main objective, just watching his team get poked down. Does manage to steal it. The Gardevoir misses their secure moves. Trevenant backs out on pretty good HP. Cerulege ult catches 3, gets them all to really low HP. If his team can continue their push here, they might just be able to catch them all. They grab their berries. They're on pretty decent HP now. That is such an unfortunate catch there from the Cerulege. What a well-placed ult, and just not able to get anything done. Meanwhile, up in top lane, Buzzwole did manage to kill the Zacian and get a bunch of scores in, really closing this score gap. So now it is 90 to 53. Buzzwole solo ripping this, but having 3 members of lane tech start to converge on him here. He pops Espeon passive. Looks like they're all just going to go for the rip here. Just take this from Buzzwole. Zacian gets a bunch of points here. He is up on points now. Defenders are both bot, but looks like the rest of the team is up here. There's a Gardevoir ult on the Clefable. Clefable manages to escape. Buzzwole was getting really chunked down there, but no one was there to help call it out. Buzzwole going down mid to stop this Cerulege from ripping. Cerulege does get stunned there. Does get a Buzzwole ult on him. Oh, and Buzzwole uses his body to secure that objective. Buzzwole now coming down bot, looking for a flank on this Espeon potentially. Espeon does not have vision of him. Now he sees him. He's backing up. Trevenant getting a little called out here by the Buzzwole, getting hooked into his own goal zone. But Trevenant perfectly combos the Horn Leech with the eject button, manages to get out. Espeon trying to take this bottom farm, manages to secure one. Cerulege still going in here. Trevenant getting caught out again by this block and this superpower from Buzzwole. Another Cerulege ult misses the Snorlax as he ejects away. This is the big fight that they're looking for. Zacian chunks down so much HP there, but the shields from Deerfield are just huge here. All ults have basically been popped on both sides. Cerulege trying to get out really low. Manages to grab a berry. Zacian just going for the rip here. Cerulege gets a Bitter Blade off, heals a bit. Still going in here. Gardevoir ult misses the Cerulege, but does manage to catch the Espeon. Espeon looking real low here. They're still trying to secure this. Zacian misses the secure, gives it to the Gardevoir. Gardevoir manages to hook that with the last little Psyshock. Trevenant trying his best to just live in this fight. Cannot get anything off. Espeon basically wasted Unite move as a panic against Gardevoir and just was unable to get anything done there. Buzzwole closes the gap with their Unite move. Cramorant outpokes their bottom lane, and it looks like Deerfield is going to take this game too. Are we seeing a potential 3-0 sweep from Deerfield here? Point gap is looking much bigger than last game because of that Kyogre. Lane Tech looking to try to make a push here, but they're going to have to deal with a massive front line and really high damage backline here. Espeon just keeps giving away their vision and coming within the range of this Gardevoir. Zacian getting pushed back here, trying to dive this backline. Espeon ult coming out, poking out that Buzzwole. Big ult from the Blissey to save this Buzzwole. They do manage to get one score off here for Lane Tech. Zacian gets another back cap, but I don't think it's enough. The score differential was just too much from Deerfield here. And Espeon just so far forward. Just gets poked down by the Buzzwole. That was a wild game that really just came down to that secure on Kyogre, where Gardevoir had the awareness to use their move on it to steal it from that Zacian. let's take a look at the stats here before the next game begins. Big damage coming out from this Gardevoir and this Cramorant, just able to, again, poke from range, and they were not able to adapt to close that gap. Again, like, their draft is good, but Cerulege was going in, but he had no one to support him. Espeon just could not get close enough. Like, they were trying to get close to land their snipes, but then they would just get bursted down. And Zacian had a lot of good moments of chunking them down, but that was only really on the front line. He was never able to get to the back line. Good healing coming out from both of the supports here, though. Let's see if Lane Tech wants to keep their pick. Meanwhile, Unit 5 still winning. Unit 5 up 2-0. We could see a potential reverse sweep from Lane Tech, but from the way those past two games were looking, I'm not completely sure. Alright. Let's pull up this bracket again. So Deerfield is up 2-0 to Lane Tech, and Unit 5 is up 2-0 against McLakes. So depending on how this match goes, so say Unit 5 wins, Unit 5 will face the loser of this game. And then the winner of Losers Round 3 will go here. We will stream this match. Me and Insane will stream it together, so we'll commentate over it together. And then we will also commentate the grand finals together. All right, Deerfield is ready. We are going to start. Let's see how this draft goes. There's the Miraidon ban coming out from Lane Tech. Mimikyu ban. Definitely an assassin they don't want with that heavy of a backline. There's the Umbreon ban as well. Delmai's another great Pokemon to dive the backline, and they get the target ban on the Gardevoir. They did not ban Mega Lucario this time. First time, I think, this entire tournament that Lane Tech has not banned Mega Lucario. There's the Mimikyu, the Hoopa ban from Deerfield. All right, let's see the first pick here from Lane Tech, hovering the Tinkaton. And opting for the Mega Lucario. They do not ban it so that they can pick it. It is very interesting. We have not seen a lot of Mega Lucarios this tournament, so I'm not sure how this will go for Lane Tech. Sorry, I'm sending a message. Clefable and Snorlax picked. That makes sense. Clefable is a great counter to Lucario. Maybe a potential Sylveon pick here. Very mid-range heavy. Looks like they will be going tank Sylveon here with the Trevenant. So running back the Trevenant here. There's the Cerulege pick again from Deerfield, along with the Venu pick, which we have not seen yet. And there's a Scizor pick with Shedinja Doll and a Blissey pick. So still not any true assassins coming out from Lane Tech, but they still have pretty good dive. But I would 100% give this team comp to Deerfield, just going based off of how the last few games were. Lane Tech has been unable to dive that backline, and they have done such a good job of hitting their stuns, keeping the Snorlax and the Clefable close, and just protecting those attackers. And it just seems like Lane Tech has not been able to find a solution. Maybe this is the solution. They're going very tanky, very move as a group, but that could very well turn against them when they're playing against these wide area attackers. They definitely need to get those easy picks. So Lucario could serve as an easy pick Pokemon, just getting those power-up punches off, getting those ults off, and just chaining through a bunch of enemies. Scizor as well, depending on if he goes Scizor or Scyther and what movesets he uses, could provide very, very good backline, like Assassin. But we're going to have to see. The eject button on Scizor is a little bit debatable because he will not have that much... he will not have really any unstoppable to be able to survive the Clefable and the Snorlax. But consistently, they have been giving Deerfield these defenders with these two backline attackers, and they have not been picking the Assassins to kill them. Honestly, like, if they played Talonflame a little bit differently, not so much spamming the flies, but really being patient and waiting for those picks, they maybe could make that Pokemon work, but we're just going to have to see. We do see Scyther in jungle. We see Sylveon and Trevenant down bot. We do know Withered Duck has a great Sylveon, but I'm just not sure how Sylveon will do into this team comp specifically, especially with how much range Deerfield has. Can Sylveon close that gap with what I'm guessing is Mystical Fire? Sylveon just getting pushed back so hard here. Espeon just allowed to take that farm basically for free. Snorlax getting a little low here, does get the stun off, and may be able to survive this. Meanwhile, up top lane, they played very aggressively, and the Lucario got a very early pick, which could be very helpful for Lucario. It does spike very well at level 5, doing a lot of damage. Scizor and Venu both coming up here. It is a Scizor running the Bullet Punch. They do get the pick on the Ceruledge, and Lucario does manage to get out. Again, Scizor's going down to these 9-minute birds after an initial gank, opting to not look at the 850 here. Might just be able to give this all to Deerfield for free. Lucario does manage to get a sizable amount of those, at least getting the big one and a few of the small ones. Meanwhile, Scizor doing an early rotation back to his jungle. Lane Tech seems to be opting for these very low involvement ganks here. Meanwhile, Sylveon does get the pick on the Snorlax, definitely closing that level gap here. Trevenant trying to get some farm up just to get his level 5. Espeon does not manage to steal that farm, but does manage to chunk them pretty heavily. Meanwhile, up top lane, they're playing really aggressively again, and Lucario is trying to get a pick off of that. Lucario looking really low here. Might not be able to get out, but the safeguard gives him that shield he needed to just easily escape that engagement. Meanwhile, Scizor is looking in mid, already level 7. Venu not able to get level 7 yet, might have to take their ball toy, which means they will be very late to this objective. Basically giving this thing to Lane Tech for free. Clefable, they have vision on the Clefable, but they're not going to chase that. Lucario looking low again. Always going into these engagements, getting really low, and managing to get out. Grabbing Berry, coming back up to top. Still 3 people up top lane looking for this 720 spawn. Lucario playing really aggressive up here. Might not make it to the 720 on time if he's opting to heal here. Pushes it all back, but Ceruledge manages to secure the bulk of that farm. Lucario again manages to get out on 1 HP, but standing outside of his goal zone a little bit too much. Might kill the Clefable here though. Does not manage to kill the Clefable, and now this Ceruledge is low, but has the burn on both of them. Might get the kill. The shield coming out keeps him up. The power-up punch manages to hit. The close combat doing a massive amount of damage. But he does go down to the gravity from Clefable. Now Blissey is just running away on 1 HP, and both supports are just left there. Meanwhile, Scizor just immediately ripping this and just giving it to Lane Tech for free. They were just not able to get past the front line of Trevenant and Sylveon. It is a Swords Dance Bullet Punch Scizor. Trevenant watching this objective, but there are 4 people down there defending that. Looks like Lucario trying to get some stacks in here, but Blaze going in with a big dive, just really trying to stop these scores. Getting a lot of burns off there with Flame Charge. Lucario unable to hit that power-up punch, but Scizor coming in with the kill. Managing to get all these bullet punches off. Might actually get the kill on this Sylveon. Not the Sylveon, the Venu, but doesn't manage to close the distance just enough. This Scizor is putting in the work, very high level for their team, the highest level in the game right now. Ooh, the Espeon ult managing to keep the team off, but the Blissey ult just giving this Scizor even more mobility and more ability to just go through this backline. The Cerulege ult with the Clefable ult manages to kill the Scizor, and the rest of their team just could not support them. They've been leaving consistently their defenders down bot, and I think that is what Lane Tech has been missing. They need those defenders with them in these team fights to create the space for them to get to this backline. Otherwise, they're just fighting an uphill battle where they're just fighting all-rounder versus all-rounder and just cannot get to the backline. They need that defender to get those stuns. They need that defender to create that space. Lucario trying to make something work here, but just unable to really sustain himself in these fights. Trevenant up here trying to get some stuns, but cannot land anything. Espeon passive is still up. Looks like Lane Tech does have 2 ults at the ready here against Deerfield's 1. An awkward Horn Leech there from the Trevenant, but Snorlax a little caught out here. Power Up Punch almost landing, but the eject from Snorlax manages to save him. A lot of healing here. Big Beam chunking down 2 people from Lane Tech. Lane Tech is a little bit split up and looking a little bit scattered here. Another Big Beam landing on that Trevenant. And Scizor really wanting to make something happen here. They do have 3 ults at the ready. Lucario goes in, Sylveon goes in. They're all just trying to burst this down. Lucario manages to secure it against the Venusaur beam somehow. And Sylveon is just starting to wipe through their team here. Big Espeon ult coming out, trying to keep this Scizor off of their backline. This Scizor is trying his hardest to stay alive, but the Espeon just does so much damage. Going in again, they have the numbers here. They do know that Espeon and Venu are low, but here comes the Clefable with the healing. Blissey ult to keep the Trevenant alive, and it looks like Lane Tech knows they just have to back out of that fight. They don't have the dive to keep the kills rolling. They do have Lucario back capping up in top, finally getting the stacks that he may have been missing, if he's even running stacks. Looks like Deerfield just keeps pushing this bottom lane, manages to get 3 kills because Lane Tech just has no front line with those 3. Like Sylveon, Trevenant, Blissey is just not enough to keep a Venusaur and an Espeon from just shredding your team. Lucario just taking the farm, playing this safe. Not trying to go for any more scores, not ripping the objective without his team. Venusaur with a massive beam just brings Lucario's HP so far down. This Venusaur is putting in the work for Deerfield here. There's a big hit, a big ult from the Clefable to just bring all of their HP so low. Trevenant trying to make something happen, but the Venu Beam stops him. Gravity stops Scizor. Scizor's trying to make it out. Lucario is way too low to stay in this fight, has to back. It is now 3:30. They are missing 2 ults on the side of Deerfield and 1 ult on the side of Lane Tech. Lane Tech just now got their 5th ult up. They will be missing Clefable ult in this final fight. Deerfield did pop it a little bit early. And looks like Deerfield is going for the rip here. They know they have the secure with the Venu. No one is really to be seen from Lane Tech here. Will they be able to rip this in time? They only have 3 seconds left. They're not ripping it in time. They just don't have the damage. They are caught out of position now. Scizor is in middle. Lucario manages to get a pretty big back cap here against the Cerulege. Now just trying to back out against this Cerulege. Does not want to die before this final fight. Cerulege looking a little aggressive here, does back out though, gets a little bit slowed by this Sylveon, but gets healed by the Clefable. Lucario really looking for a flank here, wants to make something happen, does manage to land on the Cerulege. Cerulege might go down here, a lot of big ults coming out, Blissey ult keeping them alive, big Clefable ult with the Trevenant, and this might be a full team wipe from Lane Tech. They do lose Scizor in that engage. Lucario opting to go for the Venusaur instead of rip. Okay, they're going for the rip. Sylveon is trying to close the gap on this Venusaur, keep him away from the Kyogre pit. Venu Beam comes out just a little too early, and I think Lane Tech might have this game. They already have the point differential. They just need these scores. Don't split up too much, or you won't be able to get these scores. And Sylveon trying to get a score in here, but just so many players on his back, but Lucario goes for the back and still cannot get the score off. Really tried to just sneak past their front line. They do go down. They have given some buffs to Deerfield here. Deerfield getting a big 50 in. Scizor looking a little caught out here. I don't know why he's fighting this. Cannot pop eject because he is in the gravity. This is giving Deerfield ample opportunity to just score so many points. Blissey coming in for the defense. They need Sylveon here. They need damage to actually stop these scores. Espeon ult coming out, stopping this even more. Blissey ult trying to save this Sylveon from the death from Ceruledge. They're still managing to stop this Ceruledge from scoring. Will he be able to get it off? They do get the score off. They get two massive scores off, a 36 and a 100. This could be game. Deerfield could have made the comeback. Lane Tech did manage to break the bottom goals, and the score did disappear before I was able to really see who was in the lead definitively. Oh my goodness. Lane Tech inches out a victory. Just barely securing another game. It is now 2-1 for Lane Tech. Wow, what a game. So much healing coming out from this Clefable. No Curse Incense on the side of Lane Tech to really stop that healing from just going off and off and off. That was an incredibly close game. And I think Deerfield may need to make a few adjustments, but Lane Tech was really, really lacking in some of those moments, and they really need to adjust for that. All right. Apparently, with the bracket now, Unit 5 has 3-0'd McLakes. So I'm going to plug that in and get you guys the updated bracket here. So Unit 5 will be moving on to losers round 3. Meanwhile, Deerfield and Lane Tech are still going for the current 2-1. All right. Let's get an updated bracket in here. All right. There's the updated bracket. Unit 5 has moved on with a dominant 3-0 of McLakes. McLakes really came in here hot off of their team building, but lost to Lane Tech in a really unlucky 2 games, and then dominated DeKalb, but has lost to Unit 5 in a complete 3-0 sweep. All right, let me let Deerfield and Lane Tech know that we're starting. All right, we are starting the 4th game between Lane Tech and Deerfield. This is I did not expect, like, Lane Tech had that, but then didn't have it, and then had it again. That was a very back and forth game there. Oh, I did make a mistake. I believe Deerfield did call first pick. They said it's fine. They're going to play on. Okay, cool. All right, what is going to be the 3rd ban? These are pretty traditional bans, but we don't see a ban on Mimikyu now. We see a ban on Mega Lucario, which was definitely an issue. It got 98k in that last game. Let's see what Lane Tech first picks here. And they are grabbing the Mimikyu. The second that Mimikyu is available, they are grabbing it. Wow, okay. So they are definitely going to go for... let's see if Deerfield tries to adapt and pick things that, like, pick less attackers, or if they're just going to stick with the same bread and butter and they believe they can counter Mimikyu better. There's the same, like, mid-line, front line that they picked last game. Seems like they thought that worked pretty well. They definitely need some form of Curse Incense on someone to deal with this Clefable, though. A Dodrio pick? Sableye pick? No way. And a Buzzwole pick. Okay. So they are going for that Venu again. They're going for the Buzzwole. So I'm guessing they're still going for that double attacker. But the Comfey pick and the Leafeon pick, this is a heavy assassin team comp. They are going to have a very difficult time getting through Buzzwole and Snorlax and Clefable, but if they can run through this game. They need Sylveon and Trevenant to keep this front line busy so that Leafeon, Mimikyu, and Comfey can get work done in the back line. This is going to be a very, very skill-dependent team. Like, team interaction here, it is literally all reliant on Lane Tech's Assassins and Deerfield's front line. This is probably the most, like, this team comp, like, both team comps kind of counter each other. They're both very they kind of mesh well together. So this has the potential to just be a constantly back and forth game. These team comps are very interesting. And again, whoever loses this is not out of the bracket just yet. They are still going to the losers finals, and they will play in that game as well to potentially have a rematch in the grand finals. All right. Looks like Venu is taking jungle again, and we're going to have a Leafeon in jungle this time with Mimikyu up top. That was an eject button out from Leafeon just to get to that jungle fast enough. These two are the ones that I want to be watching the most because they are basically lane tech's frontline here. And their entire game plan relies on this frontline being able to live. Espeon managing to secure all of that farm, getting them pretty low here. Sylveon does pop potion to stay alive though. Meanwhile, up top, Mimikyu's really putting in the work with this Comfey on him. Oh, getting this Buzzwole pretty low, but unable to get a kill. Still going in for this kill though. Does have the Leafeon coming up. Big catch for the Leafeon there. Mimikyu going in for some scores here. Venu chunking him down, but unable to get anything. Leafeon almost got the kill there. Maybe just did not execute the combo perfectly. And going again for those 9-minute birds, leaving the top lane kind of open. Mimikyu does not manage to get any of that against the Venu and is now looking really caught out here against this other team and is just immediately bursted down. They did not have the manpower to sustain against that fight. Those are some big scores for Deerfield here. And it is a superpower Buzzwole looking to try to grab this Comfey. Still no level 5 on the side of the Mimikyu. This could be very dangerous for him. Does manage to back out. Still not level 5. Really needs to get his farm. Going for his safe ball toy here. Leafeon rotating into mid. Looks like Snorlax is still trying to keep this front line off of Espeon, and Leafeon immediately just going for the rip in mid with Comfey on him. Venusaur is not there, taking his red buff, so Lane Tech gets that completely for free. Leafeon heading up top with the buff, trying to go save this Mimikyu, who is currently battling. It is a Shadow Sneak Mimikyu. Leafeon does manage to get the kill on the Clefable. Now they're trying to run through, get this Buzzwole. Leafeon gets chunked too much, has to back out. Mimikyu super low. Mimikyu manages to get out, but Leafeon goes in for the kill and does not get the kill on the Buzzwole. Buzzwole lands that superpower and just decimates his HP. This has been a real struggle for top lane because their Leafeon just does not stick up here. He ditches them after just one kill in the top lane, just meaning they don't have a lot of momentum. They lose all of their momentum and they're easily pushed by the other team's jungler. And this has just sent their top lane into kind of a losing spiral. Meanwhile, bottom lanes have just not seen any jungle presence, so they're really unable to make any push and get any level of advantages here. Which means now we have a level 9 Venu and a level 8 Espeon. Meanwhile, we have a level 6 Sylveon. So the level difference is definitely showing itself because of how these players are playing. There's a big Leafeon ult coming out, but an Espeon ult to try to counter him does not manage to stop him. Leafeon manages to bring his HP back up because of the buff from Regice. Comfey on the Trevenant here, maybe switching over to grab this Sylveon, heal him up. Leafeon going back to his jungle after grabbing a berry. Meanwhile, Buzzwole's ripping top. Mimikyu's looking, maybe trying to get a pick here. Cannot be too aggressive. He's going to get chain stunned. Is landing a Shadow's Claw, but that's a big ult out from the Buzzwole, and there's that level difference once again. Just the Buzzwole just being such a higher level than the Mimikyu, he is just able to easily defeat him. Here comes the Leafeon again, has Comfey attached to him. Sylveon is also coming up, but so is the rest of Deerfield's team. They are all coming in here. Leafeon is just unable to get anything done on that Buzzwole, and they just chunk it down. Sylveon manages to secure it with a sneaky mystical fire. Leafeon takes down the Buzzwole, but can't get much else done. Big slows coming out from that Sludge Bomb on the Venu, stopping that Comfey from attaching to the Sylveon, and it looks like Deerfield is just going to defend this. Mimikyu just now getting level 9. Might look for a pick here. Misses the Shadow Sneak. Kind of overshoots. Did not expect them to move down that much. Another big Espeon ult, but the Venu Beam misses after the pushback of that ult. Leafeon getting a little caught out here, just completely destroyed. Mimikyu maybe getting a dive here, kills the Espeon, gets the Comfey attached to him, gets those healing that he needs. Venu ult comes out, misses the Shadow Sneak. The slow smoke would have been so viable there if they had landed that Shadow Sneak. Mimikyu getting chain stunned here by this Buzzwole. Almost does get saved by the Trevenant stuns. Mimikyu still in here with a decent amount of HP. The Trevenant looking really low here. Misses the Horn Leech for his self-healing. Comfey attaches, brings his HP back up. Meanwhile, Leafeon dives into the backline with ult, but cannot get the confirm on the Espeon. Mimikyu dives in on top of the gravity. Does not manage to secure against the massive secure from this other team. Mimikyu still trying to go through this team, but cannot get Shadow Sneak off inside of the gravity. Just so much stun coming out from the Espeon and the Snorlax here. Looks like they are rotating back up through mid, trying to get this objective. This is a pretty dominant game show from oh, that was so close. I don't know how a Deerfield waited that long to try to secure that. That was almost a perfect steal from the Sylveon again. Buzzwole ripping this again, but this is definitely a dominant game. Not as much of a skill or like a score gap as the first game was. Second game was a bit closer. Third game was very back and forth. This gravity on this Clefable is proving to be very difficult for this Mimikyu to work around. They are just not landing the Shadow Sneaks that they want to be landing here. Big Venu ult coming out, bringing the Sylveon really low. The beam almost killing him. Trevenant did go down there. Comfey attaches to this Leafeon. Mimikyu teleports in, but just too late. The Regieleki has already walked in. Sylveon getting jumped here. Does manage to get out. Leafeon gets chunked by the beam and almost walks right into that Buzzwole. This is a massive score gap here. Venu did use his ult a little late there, but will probably be able to get it back with just a good amount of farm here. Mimikyu does dive onto that Buzzwole, and he's just completely caught out here. That's a late Leafeon ult. Still might be able to get it back, but it is only 30 seconds until Kyogre here. They are trying to get this pick on the Clefable. Clefable doesn't manage to grab the berry. He does go down. Venu is getting these snipes off as they're busy killing other members of their team. There are still 4 ults on the side of each team here. Leafeon really trying to get his ult back up here, just securing as much farm as he can, looking in these bushes with Comfey attached to him, might want to get a sneaky score off here, and he is going for the sneaky back cap, does not manage to get it off, but Mimikyu does manage to get off a sneaky back cap up at top. They're getting hard pushed down bot. Buzzwole is coming in with the smackdown, does not manage to get a pick. Mimikyu looking for a Shadow Sneak here, does not land it. Looks like Comfey's opting to stay attached to this Mimikyu here. They do have 5 ults on the side of Deerfield. Leafeon does still not have their ult. Trevenant's looking a little low here. Might just want to try to get a Horn Leech off to get some HP back. Sylveon getting chunked down by that beam. And it just looks like Lane Tech's not gonna... Oh, they landed a Shadow Sneak on the Espeon. He's going in. He's just full committing to trying to kill this Espeon. The rest of his team is not going in. The rest of his team did not realize what he had landed, what he was trying to make do. Trevenant ults the air, gets a massive Horn Leech off, but there's just no one there to capitalize off of it. I don't know why Lane Tech did not just go in with all of their ults there once they saw Mimikyu land that Shadow Sneak. There must just not have been good enough comms for that rotation. Deerfield does get a 100 off on the bottom goal zone. Lane Tech needs Kyogre in order to win this game. They do have 2 ults, but so does Deerfield, and they have very defensive ults as well. Mimikyu goes down again. Mimikyu's just playing so aggressive here and just dying every time for it. Sylveon did pop ult and immediately died with Comfey on him. And it looks like this game might just be over. No amount of back cap from this Leafeon is going to secure this victory. Leafeon ignoring the Venu, and that is his biggest mistake. He's just getting chunked down by the Venu. Big ult coming out, just not enough to kill him with the Sylveon on top of him. Yeah, that was just a really poorly played Kyogre fight. And that is another victory for Deerfield. Deerfield wins their match against Lane Tech 3-1. All right, I'm going to stop the stream for now, and I will be back with the losers finals match between Lane Tech and Unit 5. All right.
Hello.
Let me turn on my computer audio so that they can hear you. Let's change the wording here. So this needs to be lane tech, and this needs to be unit 5.
Hello. Just audio test.
I'm pretty sure they can hear you. Just watch the stream to see if they can.
I am. Yep. Okay.
You might be a little bit louder than me, so I'm gonna turn you down a bit.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here.
Mr. Sandman, bring me your dreams.
Bum,
Dun
bum,
dun
bum,
dun
bum.
dun. Make him the cutest that I'd ever seen.
Dun 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 dun.
I don't know the rest of that.
Give him 2 lips like roses something. And make him the da 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 da, something like that.
Hold up.
Sandman, yes. All right, this is the current bracket on stream right now. So Deerfield has made it to grand finals, and now we are going to see between Lane Tech and Unit 5 who will make it. Unit 5 has not faced Deerfield at all yet. Lane Tech and Unit 5 have faced each other. So we're seeing one rematch right now, and we could potentially see another rematch if Lane Tech wins this.
And what's interesting is the Unit 5 versus McLake's match. You know, that it was so close for most of the match. And initially, I thought McLake's was just going to sweep, and it ended up being turned around. So maybe Unit 5 has some kind of strategy coming into this match, and it's been working. So it's going to be interesting seeing if McLake's can, and not McLake's, Unit 5 can actually keep up the momentum against someone as strong as as strong as Lane Tech.
Yeah, especially in the matches that Lane Tech just had against Unit 5. They were very back and forth in the early game and mid game, but then it was always just down to who won that final fight. So, like, in the first game, it was so dominant by Deerfield that it didn't even matter for the late fight. The second game, it just came down to a very, very close Kyogre steal by Deerfield. And then the third game, Lane Tech, like, dominated the final fight, but then almost sold with the Kyogre buffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just very back and forth. Noodle wants a shout out because he followed me.
Don't Lane Tech needs a sub.
Yeah, I'm looking for one right now for them.
Who's missing?
Ali's. I mean, Sfeel has also been missing this entire time. Bro was saying he wanted to play and wanted to get everyone on, and he was complaining that everyone wasn't on, and now he's the one that's not playing. He's literally online in Discord right now. But I think we might be able to get a sub. There's a lot of people that, like, kind of play for Lane Tech, so we're just grabbing them. Honestly, they need a sub for jungler.
I don't know anyone on. I don't know anyone that's good enough, or that's like the same level as Ali's.
Yeah. I'm trying to think in terms of junglers that we've seen play.
You could try to get Pigar.
Yeah, Pigar might work.
I will be right back.
Okay. All right. They got their sub. And they will get another. They'll get a normal sub from Lane Tech in like 1 to 2 games. So hopefully this will just be a one-off sub. Oh, they sent me an invite.
Okay. All right. So,
Physical therapy.
and go ahead and invite me.
Yeah, I'm getting them to put me in the lobby.
Here.
And me.
Yeah. Well, once they get me, I can
Yeah,
just
you
invite
can do it.
I'm gonna lock this VC to 5 people just so that no one else joins.
Mm-hmm.
Not our VC. I'm talking about in the server because Lane Tech is playing with what's his face, P-Guard. So I'm just locking down that VC.
Oh, okay.
All right. All of these other spectators should not be joining. Wait, let me tell them.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Unit 5 has their coach spectating, which I said is okay, but...
No, I would. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, he's just recording for them.
No, I'm talking about Pigar.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering why he was.
Okay, cool.
Wonder why he was
no
switching
one
with me.
else is in here. We're good.
I love how it's 67616767 Carno.
Yeah.
Carno.
Carno? Carno Mage is asking if you streamed the McLakes versus Unit 5, which, yes, you did.
I did.
Yeah, it's on your account. All right, I'm going to give them some time.
I'll be posting it after the tournament's over.
Yeah. They have until, let's say, 3:46.
Cool. Yeah.
Dum bum 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 bum. I don't know why it's stuck in my head now.
Look at these names, bro. I'm losing my mind.
All I ever see is the same names.
They haunt me everywhere I go.
There we go.
Again, this is the bracket on my stream. It's been pretty. Most games have been pretty like shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I think the closest games we've seen are McLakes versus Lane Tech, and probably Deerfield versus Lane Tech. Like some of those games were kind of back and forth, but the games that Deerfield won, they like won. And then the games that Lane Tech was close to winning was like it was always close.
It's not in terms of close, but Unit 5 versus McLakes was just generally close. There was never any like back and forth like who won or like who had an advantage. But it was just no one really ever had a solid advantage the entire time. So it was kind of just moot. It was just moot gameplay up until the final 4 minutes.
Interesting. I know that Like, lane tech is very active in their fights, so I'm curious to see how, like, Unit 5 plays.
It will be
Because
interesting.
we did see them play against each other yesterday, and lane tech did win, but the games were pretty close. But and then like lane tech almost lost to to McLakes, and then McLakes got 3-0'd by Unit 5. So it's just there's a lot of things that could happen.
It's not a solid, team that's better than the others.
Yeah, truly. Like I feel like the trio of McLakes, lane tech, Unit 5 are all pretty evenly matched right now.
Mm-hmm. What are we waiting for?
Unit 5 is ready. We're starting.
All right. Let's play some Pokemon Unite.
All right. Where's the ban? Where's the ban?
Uh-oh.
Where's the ban?
There it is.
Delphox ban.
Hey, a ban is better than no ban.
Blaziken ban. Really targeting N.XK with that. Delmize ban, that's pretty solid. We do know Unit 5 has been playing a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Suicune ban as well. Definitely seems like they're trying to ban out the kind of stun heavy attacker team comps that Unit 5 has been playing.
Yeah.
Grabbing that Hoopa. Unit 5 does love to ban the Hoopa against lane tech or pick it, so lane tech grabbing this pretty early. No, grabbing the Snorlax instead, okay. And there's the Hoopa.
And Blissey left open.
Yeah.
I would probably go for that as soon as you can, yeah.
Yeah, there's the Blissey pick. I mean, they don't really have to prioritize it. The Hoopa's already been picked on the other side. Grabbing the Mimikyu, definitely a strong counter to attacker-heavy team comps. And a Pawmon. Wow, this is like the first Pawmon I think we've seen.
Is it?
This tournament, yeah. A Decidueye, that is a ballsy pick into Mimikyu and Pawmon. But I mean, with a front line like Goodra, Hoopa, Buzzwole, I kind of get it. Pikachu. And still no Blissey pick. Wow, going for the Clefable over Blissey here.
Interesting.
I don't know about the Clefable pick. I think they're mainly going for it to counter Buzzwole, but
at the same time, you have to. I don't know if they did any research, but this is definitely tank Buzzwole. The Safeguard just stops it.
Yeah.
It just stops it. So you have no risk going Blissey, but now you have to make sure that your gravities are well timed now.
Also, we are still seeing 2 EXP shares on the side of lane tech on the Snorlax and the Clefable.
Ooh.
With only 1 on the Hoopa for Unit 5, so seems like lane tech might really just want to give their levels to their carries here. I would not be surprised to see a Trick Room Mimikyu here from Pigar.
It could be possible. I probably wouldn't. You have a lot of backlines you have to get rid of. Specifically, this Decidueye. You're not going to have a whole lot of opportunities to do that. So Shadow Sneak is going to be a huge play here. Trick Room does have an effect against this Buzzwole and this Venu. I just don't think it's the play. Yeah. You already have enough shutdown on the Buzzwole, enough to take care of it. I think
you have
just go
block,
ahead and
you have probably Volt Tackle is what I'm guessing this guy will be going, so you have the shutdown. Yeah, I think this will really just come down to, can the Assassins do their job? If the Assassins can get through the front line that Unit 5 has, then Unit 5 might just be cooked. We do see Pawmont going top lane. Looks like Decidueye is jungling for Unit 5. But the Hoopa Goodra bottom lane, that is interesting.
It's been like that the entire for Unit 5 for a long time. They've been doing that in almost every match. They had Blissey Hoopa, they had Sableye Hoopa. It's been a little, or not Blissey Hoopa. It's been Sableye Gudra, Blissey Gudra. It's been a little weird, but it's been working out pretty well for them.
They did not manage to get any of the neutral farm there. It all went over to Pikachu, but in top lane, Buzzwole and Venusaur are really making this Pawmont back up, not allowing him to really get any farm here.
And you got to fight down on bottom, very low HP on the Hoopa, but it's not going to really do much. Desi doesn't really have a good level 5 spike like Mimikyu does.
Meanwhile, up in top, Mimikyu's about to kill the Buzzwole here. It is Shadow Claw. And it looks like they are ready for this 850, just immediately ripping into it. Mimikyu opting to just give all of the farm to his teammates here. Going for the jump on the Venusaur. The Venusaur did not expect that. A Shedinja doll pop to try to stay alive here. But now this Buzzwole is just too far forward.
And now you see, look, Desi is just too far gone. You're already level 5. Why are you just go back to your jungle, dude? You have so much time now, and you're just gonna be wasting it here. Your top lane isn't really doing a whole lot against this Pawmont, and now you just wasted a whole lot of time to get levels.
Yeah. Definitely should have just been going through their jungle there and then just like leave their bottom lane. Communicating with your lanes, knowing if they need backup or if they're at a point of like no return is very important.
It's been a little interesting seeing bottom lane, especially specifically for lane tech. They haven't really gotten a whole lot of momentum on their side, but somehow they're still really ahead of the pack.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while where they have not been able to get a lot of farm or kills or anything, but they've just managed to stay alive longer than like most lanes can. It is a Shadow Sneak Mimikyu here. Pawmont did go down in top lane to the Venusaur, but Mimikyu lands a big Shadow Sneak, does get leech lifed. The Shedinja doll goes away just as the Mimikyu gets through. And Mimikyu just plows through their entire team. Decidueye coming up, trying to defend. He is running Razor Leaf, but he just runs right into the Mimikyu. Pikachu hitting him down with the Electro Ball, getting the stun on him. That's what they needed. Pawmont immediately dives and gets the kill. That's a good early break for lane tech here.
Then on bottom lane, you don't really have a whole lot going. It's just Hoopa, Snorlax. Top lane looks like they're opting to go down to bottom lane to try to secure Regieleki. You kind of have to have your rips there. Desi's too far gone. You if you're gonna commit to something, you got to do it right. And they're just kind of like, it feels like they're not really communicating a whole lot.
It feels like a halfway commitment. They're
Exactly.
there, but they're not fully there, so they're not able to actually get the thing done.
Yeah. It's just like they have the idea that what they want to do. It's just they don't, and they aren't doing it.
Oh, what an amazing!
The Hoopa dies.
He got an ult off on the Hoopa after the Snorlax landed the heavy slam. That was brutal.
Which prevented this hyperspace hole from going through. That's so upsetting. But Pawmont is coming down with level 9 too. That is gonna be really scary. But he's open.
Oh, he got caught out by the stun, but the ult giving him the shield to survive, and now getting the sustain off of his boosted basics. He is basically up to half now from 1 HP. Mimikyu on their backline here, scoring for the iframes. Gudra does get their level 8 here. Pawmont backing up. That's a miracle Pawmont managed to live that.
I am so impressed by this Clefable so far. You have been single-handedly shutting down almost every single character. You've keeping every single person alive, and not only that, you're defying what we thought initially, where Clef was not a really good pick here, but you're making it work.
Fun fact, that's existence right there.
Oh.
Yeah. Pawmont going for an invade here.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
A full push from Unit 5 down in this bottom lane, but Hoopa took the portal back and is coming back through to their entire team. Mimikyu got the dive on the Gudra, used his ult to negate that healing, and is just going in on this backline. They're just unable to stop this Mimikyu.
And this is the one time where hyper aggressiveness does work.
Yeah.
All of last time when Pigar was facing Unit 5, Unit 5 had the reins, and Pigar just was super aggressive. He just did not ever stop and think, okay, we need to back up. I need to get levels. But in this situation, you're 3 levels above their average levels. You have the opportunity to do all of this, and you're doing it well. I mean, that's exactly how you should be playing.
And Unit 5 isn't playing the passive play style very well here. They're like, look, they're negating this farm in mid to try to contest this objective that they're just not going to be able to get.
And this level spread is just too much to bear. At this point, you just never interact. I mean, level 13 to 3 level 9s, you're never winning this if you don't stop. That's a dead buzz. Yep.
Okay, I was gonna say if that Palmont survives that somehow, I'm mind blown.
Yeah, at this point, you just set up for bottom Reggie.
They do have the ults for it. They have 4 ults. They have the ability to sustain. They have the ability to get everyone down there. There's the Hoopa ult. Everyone coming through behind their back
gravity.
line.
Buzzwole getting
gets
the
a
kill.
Big ult. No one's there to stop the Decidueye ult either. They do get the Mimikyu. That is the kill that they have been looking for this entire game. Palmont is getting that dive.
On that Palmont.
But they get the shutdown on the Palmont with the Venu ult. Pika ult does kill the Desi.
Desi is dead.
But Snorlax is just there on low HP, trying to use block, keep them off of it, stall them out. Clefable coming in, maybe trying to look for a secure here, but just they have nothing they can do. Palmont literally died 10 seconds after Mimikyu and is coming back before Mimikyu. That is the level difference right there.
I mean, this is so far. Yeah, so far it's just domination from Unit 5. This all of a sudden has been flipped on its head. I mean, Lane Tech just can't do anything.
Yeah, one team fight just kind of turned this whole game around. It looks like they finally figured out, oh, we just need to all jump the Mimikyu at the same time, and that's what they did. But they are very low on ults. We literally see no ults at all coming into the 2-minute mark. There's the Desi ult. Wow, he got that back quickly. So Desi has his ult up. No one else has their ults now. Clefable has their ult. We're at 2 now. Venu's trying to farm it back.
Pika has ult.
Pika has ult as well. If Desi gets another big ult off here, he could just single-handedly win this game for them, but that is entirely reliant on protecting him. Venu's getting big beams here, really chunking down this Clefable.
Snorlax tried to get
massively caught out. Gudra going in, Mimikyu ult coming off, Snorlax ult popping off. Gudra did pop ult, he's staying alive here. Desi does go down. Desi was just a little too far forward, and now Venu is down.
Oh wait, you got to be careful. You have to be very careful. Hoopa does have ult.
They do have ult. They have to rip this as fast as possible.
You have to be very, very careful.
There's the Hoopa ult, but they just don't have anyone coming back with reasonable respawn timers. And the Snorlax block is just too much to go through. Oh, that's so brutal.
That was depressing.
Palmont just pushing Snorlax, top lane by himself.
Snorlax just absolutely won this team the fight. Blocking Desi ult, blocking the Hoopa from even having a chance to secure. I mean, you talk about an MVP. I mean, that Snorlax is a
honestly,
really good case.
The MVPs have to be Snorlax and Clefable here. Clefable did an amazing 100%. Job of just always being with their team, keeping them alive, and shutting down most chances that Unit 5 had at countering them.
And I mean, let's talk about this Mimi. 15 kills, level 15 at probably before 2-minute warning. I mean, you can't really get better than that.
Yeah,
that is exactly what you
domination.
Want. I mean, and that really just gets enabled by the team too.
Mm-hmm.
Like off rip, like that was the entire point. Like you can, if you can get to their backline, Mimi pretty much just wins you this game.
For sure.
Mimi did his job, but it wasn't just because Mimi did the job. It was because of the blatant and completely completely teamwork on with Clef and Snorlax. I mean, genuinely, that was just a beautifully well played game.
Very well done by Lane Tech. They're up 1-0 against Unit 5. I am going to look for... I'm going to look to see if other people can sub instead of Pigar, since, you know, it's preferred just that Lane Tech people play.
Mm-hmm.
See, Noodle saying in the comments, he said, you go Clef in order to heal off of the mage heavy comp. I understand that. Like, you're going to heal off of all of the damage that they're doing, so you're giving yourself progressive healing. But the issue is that if they run one Curse Incense on Venu is doing massive damage, and your healing is massively negated. However, I don't know if they were running Curse, and I mean, looking at the healing, it's 94k off of Clef. Clef, of course,
I still think Blissey would have been better.
Yeah, Clef is still a good counter to Buzzwole. Sure, like Buzzwole got the least amount of damage on his team, but it is not. I still don't think it's a great pick into something like Venusaur. I think I would still rather have a Pocket Blissey to just give my Mimikyu unstoppable so he can do better in their backline. Obviously he did great, but I just think I would rather have those unstoppables.
Yeah, at no point am I saying that the Clef was the reason that they won. It was a lot of a team effort, but I mean, I think Blissey would have had a little bit of an easier time managing everything that Lane Tech wanted to do.
Aurora Vale saying, I still think Blissey would have been better. Words of a man who has never seen moonlight. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I listen to Moonlight Sauna, so screw you.
Aurora Vale, your own captain is saying Blissey is better, so I'd reevaluate.
Reevaluate your life choices.
All right. We'll give them some time to prep for the next game. We'll give them until probably 4:05. Yeah, Clef is still a great pick there. Counters their front line, gives them all that healing, but I think giving Pocket to the Assassin, which is like the key to winning that game, and it was the key to winning that game because he was getting literally every kill. You're running double Assassin into double attacker, and they have stuns. You want that unstoppable, you know. Safeguard is bad is crazy.
I do think Safeguard is a little bit overrated in a lot of situations, but
I mean,
you still can't underestimate it.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It like you think it's bad, and then it's popped on someone, and you're like, okay. I don't know if Safeguard is much worse than Eggs. Eggs is very, very good, but Safeguard is also very good. Let's see. Unit 5. Tech. And ready. You have until 4:08. We're gonna say 4:08. All right, looks like Lane Tech is ready.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, we just waiting.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Bum-ba-dum.
All right. 2 minutes before we auto start, unless Unit 5 is ready now.
Okay. Okay, that should be good.
Fabric water is set up.
Is it running?
Yeah.
This delay is insane. Insane, can you please, like, turn that down? All right. Unmuted you on stream. That was so loud. Okay, we're gonna start. Let me ping them. Unit 5, Lane Tech. We are starting now. Alright. I just realized Lane Tech named their... You see what they changed their names to? I just love Latina Sonic. There's a Delphox ban again. Another... Oh, Mimikyu ban. Immediately targeting that Mimikyu. I like to see it. Delmise ban on the side of Lane Tech here. Suicune and a Blastoise and a Blaziken. So definitely a lot of all-rounders getting banned here. Let's see what Lane Tech picks up. They might just pick up the Hoopa. They saw what they were doing with the Hoopa last game. I think they might just want to steal it. Or they Slowbro? No Snorlax pick here. Oh, going for the Trevenant. Okay. I guess just going for that frontline shutdown. Let's see what Unit 5 grabs here. Going for the Buzzwole again. It's a risky pick when Clefable and Blissey are still on the table. And a Sableye pick really early on, too. Existence might just be taking the risk and going for the Hoopa here, not thinking that Buzzwole is that big of a threat. Going for the Hoopa pick, yep, okay. So, no Clefable, no Blissey seen. Goodra and Desi picked on the side of Unit 5. Still a very similar team comp here. Very frontline heavy with the backline snipers. Lane Tech grabbing a Zeraora and a Pikachu. Zeraora, a great backline diver and very easy to get out of interactions using Volt Switch. Meanwhile, Pikachu can really shut down Buzzwole here with the Volt Tackles. And then you have the Ho-Oh pick as well. Man, the front line on Unit 5 is not to be overlooked right now. But they really, I feel like, are lacking the damage that they need here. They have Buzzwole, but Buzzwole can really easily be shut down, especially without a full heal on. And Decidueye can get these snipes off, but he's going to be battling against two assassins here. And Sableye could invade, but again, Zeraora has pretty solid clear and auto lock moves in his jungle. So he has a lot of damage in that early game that Sableye has to be aware of. I'm very curious what these lanes are going to be. I'm guessing Goodra is probably going to be going off on his own in his own lane. I would definitely give the draft here to Lane Tech. They have the Trevenant to just immediately shut down the Ho-Oh, the Buzzwole, the Goodra, but it's going to X-Attack Ho-Oh, so it's definitely a damage-focused Ho-Oh here. Meanwhile, the Goodra is more self-sustained tank build here. Are you back, Insane? Alright, so Zera going for jungle. Let's take a look at the lanes here. Looks like Sableye is immediately going for that gank, and yes, Goodra is laning by themselves. We have Buzzwole and Ho-Oh taking this top lane against Palmon and Hoopa. Palmon and Hoopa is definitely a difficult top lane to deal with here. Palmon being really aggressive in their faces here. Ho-Oh does get the secure. Hoopa stuns them out. Meanwhile, Sableye on this invade getting killed by this Zeraora again. This Zeraora just has so much early game damage with an auto lock move and a dash. Trevenant getting stacks in early. Goodra is just left alone trying to stop them, but just does not have the damage output or the speed to really stop them from getting these scores off. Rowlet is coming down. Not level 5 yet. Seems like his Sableye took some of his farm. Pikachu trying to get out, but the slows from Goodra are just so much. Rowlet does have a kill now. Rowlet trying to take some farm from this Trevenant. Trevenant almost left that available. There's the Sableye again running away from this Zera aura. He is just all over the place. Zera trying to make something happen, getting caught out by the Sableye, goes down to the Sableye. Trevenant trying to catch him, cannot find him. It is a curse Trevenant here. Trevenant also goes down. Gudra and Sableye looking low, but Gudra just getting so much healing in those bushes. Sableye looks like he's rotating back to their jungle here. I don't think he's going to be able to beat Zera aura to that red buff, though. And now he's just used all of his cooldowns. He's just dead. Meanwhile, up in top lane, it looks like it's been going pretty back and forth. We have 2 level 5s for the carries. Ho-Oh is actually looking quite over-leveled. And Hoopa does have his level 5. Is he going Portal, or he is going Trick? We are seeing a Trick Hoopa. I do like that with the double assassin team comp that they are running. And it's very effective into things like Desi. Using that trick, going in. Zera aura missing a lot of their moves, though. Big Spirit Shackle coming out from the Desi. Hitting the Palmont again, giving vision of him. Palmont does manage to secure that farm. Zera aura going in, leaving the Buzzwole on just 1 HP. Palmont barely managing to escape. Palmont not really able to do much in this early game right now. Just hasn't hit the spikes that he wants. Zera trying to get this farm, diving the Desi. Misses the Desi, though. Desi has to pop his eject button. Big snipe again, and Zera aura walks out of the Spirit Shackle and dies to the area effect. That is brutal. Hoopa backing up. Palmont getting caught by these Spirit Shackles. They're just unable to really dive this Desi, and they just keep dying to his snipes. Looks like they're going for the rip with the Ho-Oh up in top lane. The Desi is going to secure that. Meanwhile, down bot, this is just a battle of the tanks. Trevenant versus Gudra. They have the Pikachu to kind of do damage and pepper him from behind, but it just really isn't enough to counter the amount of healing that this guy is giving himself.
Is my mic okay now?
Yeah, it works.
Oh, okay.
Sableye going in, getting caught by that Volt Tackle. Zera aura going in with the discharge, immediately taking him out. Trevenant trying to stun this Gudra out of his cooldowns. Getting the reset on Horn Leech. Hooking him again, but kind of out of his own team. Allowing this Gudra to just get their cooldowns up, heal again. And the Zera aura and the Trevenant goes down. That was just a massive misplay by the Trevenant, dragging him away from their Zera aura, denying that kill. And Desi is just able to come down and snipe them all out. Palmont finally
looks like
getting
Gudra has
down here.
an effect on the game right now. I mean,
Yeah,
bottom tier character. It's been working right now.
I mean, they're running Decidueye, Ho-Oh, Gudra, and it's
funny.
working.
They've run this exact same comp. I'm not sure if Buzzwole still stayed in, but here comes a Zera ult. Doesn't do
Just
anything.
immediately shut down by that Buzzwole there. Trevenant trying to just chain stun this Regieleki, but kind of ignoring the rest of his team getting dove by the Buzzwole and the Sableye here. Desi is just able to get so much work done. They're just unable to really touch this Desi. With the Zera and the Palmont here, the Palmont just keeps going for the front line and just cannot get through. We have 3 ults on the side of Unit 5 ready and only 2 for lane tech, and they just now got them.
What's interesting is that there's not a whole lot of level disparity. I mean, it's been pretty even for the most part. Obviously, a couple stragglers here and there, but I mean, and it looks like I think that's Unit 5 is just completely dominating this game.
Yeah. Ho-Oh does go down. Sableye also gets caught out. This is a 3v5 now in top lane. They do have the ults here.
At this point, you
for
want
this
to push.
advantage. Yes, they definitely just want this push. There's a Buzzwole grab. Trevenant's looking real low here. Just gets chain stunned. Palmont wants to make something happen against this Desi. Manages to catch him through the berries. Zera tried to go in, but a revive just for the Decidueye to get him back in this fight. That could prove really bad for them. There's the kill on the Hoopa immediately. Zera's looking really low here. Another snipe on this Trevenant. He's unable to catch anyone. This front line is just too much for lane tech to really deal with. They just can't make it through. Palmont rotating down bot, but Unit 5 completely just taking this middle objective. No contest from Lane Tech here.
I wouldn't even be near here. You need to be farming.
Yeah, Trevenant's
farm.
just really caught out
Oh.
here. Gets hit by that move by
Ooh.
Sableye. Manages to get an ult off. Hook 2. Big Pikachu ult coming out as well. That's
That was-
3 down. What an amazing
this.
catch by the Trevenant
You
there.
push this.
Oh, a good
You need
zoning
to push
by the
this as much
Buzzwole.
as you can. You have to keep pushing. You already have 3 people dead.
Yeah.
2 people coming back right now.
I think the issue
you
is
have-
just that Zera got so zoned out by that Buzzwole. He just did not want to keep pushing. He was too low. He knew he was just going to get sniped by Desi. Another engage by this Sableye, really trying to kill this Zera. Unable to make it happen, though. This Palmont just going in with this Trevenant, both dying to the massive front line of Unit 5. Hoopa managing to get out, Zera taking more farm. They got the objective, but lost 2 other players in the process.
You know, it's more interesting that this kind of thing happened last match where it was dominant for one side, and then one fight kind of really shifted the momentum to the other. It almost happened this time, but it looks like Lane Tech kind of was a little bit more patient. They got a lot of kills, they got more levels. They're actually ahead in the level game right now.
Yeah.
So it did work, but it just didn't have the same impact, and that's kind of why it feels like nothing really changed, even though I do think Lane Tech does have an advantage right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have the levels. It's mainly because of the 2 goals that are broken. They've just been able to farm so much more. Pikachu watching this Sableye down bot, but Sableye getting this back cap. Is Lane Tech going to push with this information that they have? Zera's getting massively poked down here. Dives no one. Still trying to get something off here.
Ooh.
Gudra pops ult. Trevenant
Huge.
ult just doing so much damage and giving so much shield. It's a big
Oh my
Hoopa ult
lord.
as well. Palmont looking really low here. Zera trying to dive this Desi. A big Ho-Oh revive for 2 of their front line here. But Tree was just ready. Just immediately going in for the Horn Leech, trying to get the stun. Another big Desi
you're crumbling.
snipe.
They're crumbling.
They're crumbling. They're falling apart. They're just unable to make anything happen. That Ho-Oh ult single-handedly brought them back into the fight by bringing that Gudra back in to tank all of that damage and distract them from the Decidueye in the backline. That was a 4
Unit
KO
5
streak for Desi.
Yeah, Unit 5 playing it very smart. You know you're in the lead. No reason to go for this. Don't
Yeah.
risk it.
They
Even
have-
though
they
you
have a
have the
whole
better
minute.
secure. Yeah, you don't need to go for this. Like you have a whole minute. You know you're in the lead. You've been winning team fights. I would do the exact same thing.
Oh,
Very smartly
Sableye getting
played,
a
but-
little caught out here, but Trevenant so low. The Desi finds him with the Spirit Shackle snipe.
Oh.
This Decidueye is putting in the work right now. A big grab from the Gudra for another kill. Pikachu looking a little caught out here. Zera's really going for the long flank on this Decidueye, but Decidueye sees him before he can, gets pushed away by the Leaf Storm, and just goes down. That's a full team wipe for Unit 5.
I mean, there was not a whole lot you could do. Everyone was just so disorganized. Like, it was just so important.
Yeah, they were just
Lane
all
Tech-
trying to target different parts of Unit 5's team comp.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive. You gotta realize when to cut your losses. And at that point, you just had to probably play for a secure.
Yeah.
Maybe try to get Zera or ult off or something along those lines.
Wow, so just a pretty dominant game from 126k on that Decidueye. Just an oppressive front line, just enabling this Decidueye to just get all of his Spirit Shackles off. Just not a lot of damage from the rest of his team, but so much from him. He got almost half of the damage for his entire team there. Meanwhile, Lane Tech's damage is so much more spread out evenly. Trevenant getting more damage than the Hoopa and the Pikachu. Palmont barely getting more damage than the Trevenant, and then Zera having the most damage overall.
I love you. You are the cutest little boy ever. You're so cute.
Oh, what happened here?
He thought he had to go, and then he didn't have to go.
Buddy.
Who thought it had to go? Who was it?
Pigar thought he had to
Pigar?
go, but he didn't. I like that Existence's name is still NGU Exit. Like, my man has not changed that in over a year.
But why do you want to do? Your what? On your controller? You have to put
All right, we're gonna give them until 4:30.
They're in the bathroom. You on the second shelf is on the hot dog dish. You know, there's two shelves, 1, 2.
Yeah.
First shelf, right, first shelf.
First off, right quick.
And they're tiny.
Alright. What?
Hmm.
Yeah, there's also these things.
All right, Lane Tech is ready. We are just waiting on Unit 5, and we will start at 4:30 if they are not ready.
Yeah. Mom.
What?
All right. What do you think Lane Tech's game plan really has to change so that they can do better into this?
At this point, you have to disturb the Decidueye. You have to disturb the backline. That's what McLakes did in the game too. The entire game, from beginning to mid game, you really didn't have any disruption. Decidueye was just sniping you down. Tinkaton wasn't able to do much.
You mean
Mimikyu
Palmont?
just it's none. Well, I'm talking about the previous
Oh, yeah,
set.
yeah.
And then Mimikyu just was not able to get it was just too hyper aggressive. He always went in, shadow sneaked at the wrong times, and then they backed out. They changed their mindset, and they executed better. Greedent was able to stop the Decidueye. Mimikyu played his shadow sneaks correctly. Tinkaton was able to get levels and really help out their team. And that's what Lane Tech really has to do. They have to find a way to disrupt Decidueye. They cannot let this the back line just stay there and can just keep raining down snipe shots. It's tough, I know, especially when you have their front line like constantly checking on Decidueye. But at that point, you have to take advantage that you don't really have another choice in that situation.
Yeah, you also had Lane Tech not really playing much AoE. They had Pikachu playing Volt Tackle Electro Ball, and they had the discharge from Zera, and that was pretty much it. They're not running Wood Hammer to like bring everyone into one place. They're running Curse, so they're having a harder time attacking everyone at once, which is what they need to be doing, because if they take so long killing one tank, then they have to kill another, and then they have to get to the backline. And by that point, they're just coming back. They're staggering out their kills. So against such a tanky team comp where it takes so long to kill one person at a time, you need to have those kind of grouping up moves. You need to have something like a Delphox or a Gardevoir or even a Latios, just something that can actually group up enemies and take out a bunch of them at the same time. They could even run the AoE moveset on Pikachu for a more effective, like AoE attacker. But they just really did not have much AoE. The stuns from Trevenant were very valuable, but their team comp just was not able to take advantage of that, especially Palmon.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like if you can't disrupt the backline, that's what you need. You need that AoE, and if you can't get that off, if you can't, you have a lot of ways to approach this. The easiest way is just to disrupt the black backline without having the front line immediately gang up on you. So, however they need to do that, however they think they need to do that, you have to. Mister Bot has been pretty much incredible the entire tournament.
Yeah.
He's been pretty much the catalyst for everything Unit 5. And
I mean, his team has been doing such an amazing job of enabling him, just
exactly
giving him those opportunities to get those snipes off. And for the record, this isn't even their main roster. They're missing their captain. They're missing their speedster player here. So normally they would have a speedster like Talonflame or Absol in this team comp, just getting the flanks and building off of those stuns, building off of those snipes that Desi's getting. So it's really impressive that they're able to enable him this much without their team captain and without their speedster. All right, we are going to start now. Looks like Unit 5 definitely wants to take their time, which is fine.
Yeah, they've been taking the full 5 minutes.
Yeah. They like to prep. So.
Now, the entire time during my stream, I played who had the better draft, both in the sense of bans and the picks. And I'm not the biggest fan of Hoopa bans. I don't think Hoopa bans are extremely important, and that's what a lot of people have been doing recently. So
especially Unit 5, they put a lot of value into Hoopa. They're first picking it, or they are banning it right away.
Yeah, so far...
A Ho-Oh ban.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely gotta give this over to Unit 5. Extremely good bans.
Yeah, just good meta picks, but also picks that Lane Tech has been using. I understand the Delphox ban. Delphox is like, it's in the same vein as Decidueye or Gardevoir, just those long range, high damage Pokemon, but it has stun.
Although I do think you can probably do without this Buzzwole. He has been an extremely big threat. I don't think you really need to have to worry about Delphox as much, especially if you can get back in the back line.
I think there's a better tank all-rounder that they could be going instead of Buzzwole here. Something even like a Metagross, but that spikes pretty late. But just something else that's bulky, because this Buzzwole has just been getting shut down non-stop. There's a Clefable pick. I like the Clefable pick here. They already took Blissey. Blissey was a great response to the Suicune. Also, this is one of the very first Suicune games we're seeing. Suicune has been banned in a lot of games, but not really picked. We're seeing Goodra and... Okay, so this is a very similar team comp. However, they're going Blissey instead of Sableye here, going for more of the self-preserved team comp. Maybe trying to enable this Buzzwole a bit more. There's the Pikachu again. What Speedster, what Assassin are we going to see from them? And a Zacian. Okay.
This is interesting. I as much as I do like Lane Tech's team comp, I do have to give it back over to Unit 5.
Yeah.
Goodra's been working. Blissey is just going to, especially if it's Safeguard Blissey, is just going to completely annihilate Clef, Gravity, and Suicune.
Honestly, Lane Tech has no answer to Decidueye.
Yeah, you kind of went from having some sort of answer to Decidueye in their backline to having almost none now.
Yeah.
So I don't see a way you're going to win this. The only way I can maybe see it is if you peel off the Zacian and go for some kind of sneak attack.
I'm guessing their game plan for team fights is to... Oh, I gotta add a 1 to Unit 5. Is to basically pick off at least a couple of the defenders and then just make a full push with their unite moves, because they have Zacian with the big burst, they have Suicune with the massive stun, and they have Pikachu with the large AoE. So if they lead a fight with something like a Clefable and a Pikachu band with a Pikachu ult, and then they go into a Suicune and a Zacian ult, they could very easily decimate their front line and then just leave their Decidueye there. But that is dependent on getting through an Umbreon, Goodra, Buzzwole, Blissey frontline, which is an insanely tanky frontline. Looks like Zacian is jungling here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right.
Is Snorlax? Snorlax is going for some stacks here, opting to be a little bit more tanky this game. I'm very interested to see how this Suicune plays this game out.
I mean, you don't get a whole lot of mileage out of Suicune now. Blissey's just gonna shut you down, and you don't really have an answer to anyone. I will say that the early game is definitely gonna be easy. So maybe they're playing for like high levels, but in that case, like they have a lot of low level. They have a low level spikes, so I'm not entirely sure, but it could definitely work. I'm starting to see the vision a little more now, but I'm not really sure it's going to work.
They are going all-rounder Snorlax here. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a flail Snorlax, since he has been stacking in the top lane. There is a gank from Desi. They got pretty much all of the middle farm from Clef and Snorlax here. Meanwhile, down bot, Zacian and Suicune are just plowing through them here. Suicune just really able to put a lot of pressure on the goal zones, and then Zacian can just pretty much dive them instantly. I do think Suicune might be the key to their team fights here, because if Suicune can hit massive stuns on their front line, Zacian and Snorlax can rip through them.
It is Flareolax. Yeah. And I will say, I think my read was right. I think they're going for a high level early game, and that actually is going to be a dead Buzzwole.
Oh my goodness! They got the Snorlax low, and they kept engaging him even though he had flail. Oh, that mean look packed a punch.
Left the Snorlax. That's a mistake that could cost them. And you got to be very careful. Snipe Shot Desi is on and ready.
Oh, there it is. I'm pretty sure the Pika was coming up, hitting that, and then Desi saw his opportunity. It was a very close secure, like really, he just hit it at the perfect moment. Goodra just not going down. Suicune stuns, Pikachu hits, like everything was hitting him, and he was just living everything.
I mean, you have 4 bottom at this point. At this point, you just leave, right? Like, you don't even try to contest for birds.
I know I wouldn't. Suicune does manage to secure a bit of that, but is caught in the mean look. Desi looking for a double snipe, does hit it. He might just go for the rip here. This is a 5-man rotation for bottom on Unit 5, and they're not really pushing this goal zone. They're just more zoning them out and going for this rip. It is also going to be a heals Blissey game.
At this point, you send Snorlax down right now. Oh no, they stayed up top. That was a huge
oh
stun.
My goodness!
Oh my lord!
The whirlpool effect got it at the last second. That is extremely lucky.
Oh my lord! I didn't even realize that. That's crazy. Yeah, now you have Snorlax coming down. You get no, Clef needs to stop, dude. You just got to come down and help. But the Desi does get out. Oh my lord!
Goodness.
What a whirlpool! Huge Zacian.
These whirlpools are doing all of the work right now.
And this game just got flipped up on his head.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Clef does have red buff.
So look again. From the beginning of the game, we immediately thought Unit 5 had the easiest time of their lives. But Lane Tech, now we're going into mid-game territory, has now 4 ults, or 4 people who had ults. 3 people having ults right now. And Pikachu almost getting level 9 in just a bit. you are now playing for early game. And that is what it means when you play for early game like this. You have so much time to get levels, get your ults, and it's been working out for them. But Clef dying at the very end there is
Yeah.
not exactly what you want to
Just
do.
had so many stuns coming out from the Buzzwole and the Umbreon there. But look
Oh.
at these Suicune stuns
Oh my
just completely shutting down the Desi. If they can continue this run of these Whirlpools landing on this Decidueye, that can very easily secure them the game. And Snorlax just on their Desi, behind him, low HP, peppering him with flails until he went down. Another Suicune stun there. Zacian going in with Metal Claw. Suicune managing to get that score off. A big Blissey ult coming in, but
and it doesn't matter.
the block from Snorlax keeping him alive. Oh my goodness. Looks like Zacian's gonna go for the rip here. They definitely need to work on zoning this Desi out so he does not steal this, but it doesn't even look like he's gonna contest it.
What I will say is that they really need to stick more together. It's specifically for Clef Moonlight. You have 3 people who are really low right now. Clef Moonlight would just not make that not an issue. If Desi came and tried to steal, he probably would have killed 2 or 3 people there. He probably would have had a top lane team wipe.
Oh, Clef almost getting out. This is not the same kind of Clef game we were seeing earlier. Like in the past games, he was perfectly using his position to shut people down, but also give his team healing. Here, he's going more for trying to shut them down instead of healing his team.
Lord.
But this Snorlax and this Pikachu together are just instantly destroying their team. Like, Pikachu with the AoE ult and Snorlax just destroying them with Flail. This Flail is proving to be very successful.
What's even more crazy is how easy it is. It's just, it looks like it's effortless. And I promise you, if I were to play this would be so much struggling.
This would be a hard team comp to play into, especially with the team comp that Lane Tech has put together, but they are mustering this together. The Suicune is 100% the key to this team comp. Zacian is managing to get in off of those stuns. Pikachu is just staying from a distance, hitting them with his Volt Tackles and his Electro Balls. Clef is not doing the best job of keeping their team alive and staying alive in these team fights, but they're still doing enough that their whole team does not instantly die to the Decidueye. But it definitely seems like Lane Tech has found the answer to this heavy tank team comp, and it might just be the offensive Snorlax.
You already know that Unit 5 is going to immediately ban Suicune after this match, because this is
100%.
He is doing so much, popping so many ults right now. This might be another key fight that Lane Tech needed, or Lane Tech loses.
Yeah, there's the Snorlax getting caught out by the Buzzwole, but the Suicune stuns saving him entirely, but the Snorlax is going back in. Clefable trying to keep the heals on him, but Snorlax just overcommitted way too much there. Suicune managing to get out after popping X-Speed. That was a big fault on the Snorlax there. If he had just walked out of that fight, he would have been perfectly fine. But if you look at the ult difference now, Lane Tech has a massive advantage going into this final fight.
Exactly. You're missing Blissey ult. You're missing Decidueye ult. I think maybe even Umbreon ult. I'm not entirely sure. But you're missing a lot of ults. Your best ult right now is Goodra because it's the only one. And that is probably one of the worst ults in the game. So you really have to make sure that you get some stuns on here with Suicune. And here he goes. Immediately popping the ult. Pop the ult. There it is.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And that is why you do not ult in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That is why you don't group up against Suicune.
Jesus Lord.
They just lined up for that, and Suicune just immediately decimated them.
It was literally like line up for a beating because it genuinely was. And I'm not going to say that Unit 5 doesn't have a chance because Clef is kind of getting caught out right now. But he got out. Okay, well.
Yeah, this might just be a game.
Has a chance.
If they can get a pick here, they can win this, but Lane Tech is playing this very passively, waiting for their whole team to get here, and then they're going to push. And it just, look at those sweet.
And you got to be careful. You have 4 ults now. You have 4 ults now, 3
There's
ults now on Unit 5.
Oh, but the Snorlax blocking, but Umbreon managing to stop this Zacian over and over and over again. Desi gets a buff. Oh, they're starting to make a push here. Pikachu does get a sneaky score behind. Clef got a little called out in this mean look. Does go down to the Goodra. They have 2 buffs now. Pikachu coming into this fight late. Doesn't get called out for it, though.
You need 2 people to score at least 50, and then at least another 9 or 10. Oh, but you only have Pikachu. Oh, and he's not even with the team. This could actually end up really badly.
There's another
Huge
score.
Suicune ult!
But the Suicune ult just doing so much. Pikachu coming in again with ult. Managing to stall this Buzzwole out. Goodra going for a score. Looks like Decidueye is going to try to go for a score down bot, but I don't think he's going to make it there in time.
No, especially with Clef right there.
This is just
ready
not enough.
And waiting.
It's just not enough for Unit 5. They were so close.
You know, I really don't think that going into that match that Unit 5 really had a bad chance of winning. That was domination. From beginning to end, there's a little bit of fights where Lane Tech kind of just had miscommunication and ended up losing a fight. Overall, Unit 5 just completely was stomped on the neck the entire time. There was nothing that they could do to actually stop this weekend.
That
easily
final combo
MVP.
was just, oh my god, 108k coming out from the Suicune.
Yeah, I gotta give the MVP to Suicune. So much
100%.
activation from Zacian. I was a little worried about being able to dive. It didn't matter. It was so.
No, it did not. Desi played just too far forward in some of those team fights, and Suicune just completely shut down the entire front line. Also, 82k coming out from the Snorlax with 74k tanked. That was an impressive Flail-Axe game, especially for running block with Flail. He was just getting those shields for himself and then going in with Flail over and over and over again.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. All right, we're gonna give them until 450. All right. They got 3 more minutes before we start. This is definitely a very back and forth game, but Lane Tech has they had them in the first game. Unit 5 found their counter. Then Lane Tech found the counter to Unit 5's team. So now Unit 5 has to come up with something in order to adapt and come back for this next game. Let me ask Unit 5 if they want first pick. All right, Unit 5 wants first pick, so we're gonna give that to them.
My cat is fucking stoned as fuck right now. What are we waiting on?
Apparently, Carno Mage asked, does it really matter on who's first pick and who's second? So my example was, say both teams want a really good Pokemon, but I have first pick. Now I can pick that Pokemon and the other team can't. Wow. Alright, Unit 5 does want first pick. They have about a minute until we will start. And then we have the grand finale, which hopefully we can get through a little bit faster. But these have been very entertaining games, so.
Yeah.
Alright, let me tell them that we're starting. Alright.
Unit 5 quickly becoming a favorite to win.
Oh yeah. They're a very fun team to watch. Their off-meta strategies are just very cool. Interesting bans. No Suicune ban coming out, but they do have first pick, so I'm suspecting that they will just first pick Suicune here for Unit 5.
Yeah,
they
and
did ban the Snorlax.
Yeah. But they're going many. This is so weird. I want to give it back to Unit 5, but I really don't understand how you don't ban Suicune. So I'm gonna say it. I'm picking Lane Tech for bans.
Yeah, I mean, Lane Tech is grabbing Suicune Blissey first pick. I don't know how you...
Yeah, I don't know how you're dealing with this.
Like, sure, you're grabbing Mimikyu. Mimikyu's a good Pokemon, but into Suicune, it is just brutal.
You're really gonna have to find something that enables Mimikyu right now, and I'm gonna be real. There's not a whole lot, especially with how Lane Tech is short forming their team. Latina's on Pikachu. Low key, Pikachu has been one of the...
It's been a secret
awkward
MVP.
picks.
It's been like...
Yeah.
It's been kind of a sleeper pick, but sometimes it really suffers. Like, into these team comps, you want to be running Thunderbolt. This team has literally no range. They cannot close the gap on you unless they have Mimikyu diving you, but you have all of this peel for you. Also, the pure amount of all-rounders that Lane Tech is running here.
I'm not entirely sure. I almost want to give it to Unit 5 because I do see the vision with Tree and Sable coming in, making space for Mimikyu. I'm not a big fan of the Cerulege pick here. The only thing that you really get
Cerulege is going to have a hard time in this fight.
Yeah, your only thing you really get off of that is your ult, and I don't think it's substantial here. You have very, very tanky people. I'm gonna say it. I'm going with Unit 5 for the win on this one. I can see it going either way though. There's not
the
a
Suicune
whole
is just
lot
such a difference maker. Like, Suicune and Pikachu literally could just win another team fight by themselves.
exactly. But in form of shape, in the shape of the grand scheme of things, I do think Unit 5 has the better team comp. I just don't know if I would. I don't think I would pick Garchomp or Cerulege here. This is going to be really hard for those two to actually be able to do anything.
Yeah, it's just, and especially with Mimikyu not running full heal though, I feel like it's gonna have a really hard time getting onto this Pikachu. This Pikachu has been running Volt Tackle every single game. The only way for them to get to this Pikachu and this Suicune is to kill the Garchomp and the Blissey, which is going
Like
to be hard on its own.
like yeah, that's under the. I'm assuming that they're going heals because they don't really have a whole lot of self sustain.
Yeah.
But if they do go Helping Hand, I wouldn't. I would see the vision with Garchomp.
I like the Garchomp pick here. It's very interesting.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I mean we're gonna see right now.
I mean, I think he played it one other time this tournament, and it was pretty solid. Sableye did get the bottom farm here. Sableye opting to not invade the Cerulege this game, which is interesting.
I mean, you just have level 5 already for Cerulege. Mimikyu, are they gonna go? They're going. I've seen a lot of that recently. Junglers splitting the lanes. It's almost
Like
been
going
detrimental.
to different lanes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's almost been
maybe a
detrimental.
Sableye catch there. It is a play rough Mimikyu, unable to get the catch on either of them right there. Just massive Suicune stuns. Oh my goodness. And this is why we ban Suicune. This thing is disgusting. Yep, just an instant kill there.
I still favor Unit 5 in this situation. I it's been really hard just to see everything playing out the way it does. So, well, I mean,
I think Play Rough Mimikyu could be a secret MVP here for them, especially because it can just avoid all of those Suicune stuns, but it's getting through to Suicune into Pikachu is going to be the issue in these team fights.
you know, I'd almost say go Trick Room. I'd almost say it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, but I'd almost say it.
Sableye getting a little caught out here, doesn't get frozen, but does get hooked by that Pikachu. That is unfortunate. They have no one in mid. Mimikyu is just getting levels. Looks like Lane Tech's just going to get this for free. Meanwhile, Buzzwole up top just battling with this Garchomp, but this Garchomp gets caught out, hooked by the team, does eject button out, doesn't come to the Blissey, does manage to grab the berry though. This could actually be a big catch for Lane Tech here on this Buzzwole. Oh, a massive hook.
What a drag.
That was good. That was well done. Manages to live
Trevenant
the curse.
barely alive.
Garchomp just taking the middle farm. Trevenant did get really low there, but managed to heal. And
Oh,
Mimikyu coming through with the
where did he come from?
clutch Shadow Sneak, almost killing the.
Oh, and it doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness!
Oh wait, it maybe does.
Oh, Garchomp missing
miss-
the drag. Oh my goodness!
I'm not entirely sure what this Buzzwole is doing right now. It feels
Yeah,
like he's just pressing buttons.
He was just watching the Garchomp. Maybe it was because the Garchomp kept weaving in and out of the bushes. He just couldn't get vision on him enough to really rely on his move hitting, but that was a little awkward. That was a very back and forth fight, and the last person surviving is Garchomp is very funny to me. Blissey down bot with the Pikachu and the Suicune. This is just such an oppressive lane. Even for a Goodra to play into, it just cannot get enough healing off.
And this is what I was afraid of. This Garchomp is just not doing enough without Blissey.
Yeah.
Like if Blissey gets caught out, if they get separated, I mean, I don't see a way that Garchomp could even win. But
Garchomp just needs ult to be able to engage in any kind of fight here. Blissey's starting to hit Regice here, but Sableye gets a sneaky score in the back. Unit 5 is in the lead in terms of score here, and they do have a level 10 Mimikyu.
yeah, oh my god.
Oh, a
Goodra
very
barely staying
close,
alive.
almost a steal from Sableye there. Gudra just getting chipped down nonstop by this
How is
Suicune.
he alive?
The healing from
He is-
Gudra is just insanity.
Oh, hero's ult.
Just a massive Ceruledge ult and a Blissey ult on the Suicune in the backline to keep him alive here. A big Trevenant ult. Suicune ult stunning them, giving Pikachu an opportunity to come in with the ult. They all escape the area just in time. Trevenant does go down. Sableye trying to stun them out here, stop them from scoring. Suicune manages to catch them. So does the Pikachu. They're just getting a bunch of little scores in here, peppering the Skull Zone down. Pikachu does get Shadow sneaked on him, and the Play Rough goes off. Garchomp coming in, trying to save this push. But they just keep staggering kills here.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the plan is here. I mean, why would you? You needed to back off and let them.
Garchomp's so low here. Garchomp goes down. Yeah, they just kept. That's the thing. They have so many tanks. They have so many like high HP targets. They're killing one, but by the time they kill one, the next one shows up. That was such a long push for not even a goal zone break. And they're still behind on points here. This Sableye has just been keeping Unit 5 in the game in terms of points.
Here comes Sableye going for a sneaky little back cap. Having that just
Popping
right
that goal getter
coming
and
out.
just immediately getting that 40. Going over 200 points now. Distracting the Garchomp. Garchomp has to move away. Suicune trying to protect itself from this. Oh, big Trevenant ult coming out. The Mimikyu manages to get onto the... Oh my goodness. The Mimikyu manages to kill the Suicune, but the Ceruledge ult just destroys their front line. Garchomp trying to get the kill on this Mimikyu.
This is exactly what I was afraid of for Unit 5. You're not playing... Like, you're basically playing a 4v5 the entire time. Trevenant's too low. Gudra's too low. I mean, the level disparity is just too much to bear.
Oh my
right
goodness.
You need to back out.
The chip damage from Curse managing to steal that. It is a Pain Split Trevenant, so he's not going to have as much healing as he would like. Buzzwole does manage to get that kill. Mimikyu coming in for the flank on these squishies, but just uses Play Rough and completely misses. Sableye getting the stuns, allowing the Mimikyu to come in. Mimikyu does get the kill on the Suicune. That was a very well executed Sableye flank there.
Wants the kill on Pika here. But I don't think he's
coming in. Blissey coming in for the... That's an ult from Mimikyu. Managing to get the kill. Blissey really wants to get this secure on the kill, but not able to. That is a late Mimikyu ult out. Let's see if we see more late ults from Unit 5 out here. But like, they have the point lead here. They don't need to really fight for these objectives. They just need to protect bottom and get farm. Maybe even I would honestly just let bottom go so that you can get levels.
Yeah, but at this point, now you're Gudra ulting, trying to make a fight happen down bottom. But lane text just says, okay, we're just going to let that happen. You wasted an ult. Now you're pretty much cooked.
Yeah. Oh, Garchomp getting a catch on this Mimikyu. Mimikyu gets the Play Rough to escape.
Ceruledge,
massive ult. Ceruledge gets an ult off of that Suicune stun. Mimikyu low back here, trying to back away from this Pikachu. Pikachu ults and ejects, cannot catch the Mimikyu. Electro Ball to stun him even more. Unit 5 is still in the lead, but
now you cannot.
They do not have the numbers.
You cannot rip this. You have too many people coming back right now.
And they are ripping it. They are going for the rip.
Trevenant popping ult just a little too soon, in my opinion.
I'm guessing it's just for a stall here, but he's just unable to get the healing that he needs because Pain Split just is not providing him the heals. If he was running Hornleech here, he could have easily just went through their entire team there. Another big Blissey ult.
You can just tell. This is game. Suicune ult.
Doesn't hit anyone, but Mimikyu just is unable to really get anything done here. Now they're just ripping it.
Now at this point, you put someone right there. Put someone right there so that Mimikyu doesn't get really in. But he messed up the timing anyways. And
there it is. That is game. Oh, it's such an unfortunate run for Unit 5. They were doing so well in the mid game there. They had the early game lead, but the Unite move combos from Lane Tech are just so strong.
And in no world would I say that Unit 5 did not deserve to be in this situation because this was such an amazing set. I'm not part of the ISHEA, but I am definitely looking forward to seeing what happens
Yeah,
later
because
in this season.
Unit 5 definitely has some, like, they have the potential to become a very, very strong team. Especially with these.
This Suicune, this is just insane.
Yeah, especially with these, like, off-meta team comps, it's very hard to be able to adapt to something like this when you just don't play against those Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Lane Tech taking it 3-1, right?
Yeah, 3-1. Do we want to do a bracket reset or no?
No. Just
No.
give Deerfield game 1.
What do you mean game 1?
Like they get game 1, they win game 1, so they're up already.
Yeah, they're
1-0.
up 1. Yeah. All right, we get
So,
a reset,
yeah.
but we get a rematch between Lane Tech and Deerfield in grand finals. All right, so Deerfield will start 1 up. All right, I'm gonna do the starting soon screen, and then we will be back once. Let's take a look at the stats before this ends. Suicune was just putting in so much work. 92k from Suicune, 102k from the Garchomp. Just really able to brawl forever with that Blissey safeguard on him.
And what absolutely was the game changer is that Suicune, 23 assists, 23. You cannot ask for a better game. You cannot.
Yeah.
And that Suicune it played that absolutely perfectly. I do still think if you put that into perspective, I do think if you run that like 8 out of 10 times, Unit 5 wins. Lane Tech got the better of them there. You just you had a really good game plan going into it. Buzzwole just did not 25k on Buzzwole.
Yeah.
You just did not do enough. You have got to find a way to get more damage in. Peel off, wait, do something, but that was just extremely unfortunate.
All right. All right, let's join this lobby.
High piece pretender.
Ooh.
I'm already in here. How the fuck am I already in here?
Oh, they kept the same lobby.
Mm.
I'm gonna remove that guy. Okay.
Can you get all these boxes and shit picked up, please? Off the bed?
Do you need to, do you want this yet?
Sure.
Deerfield and Lane Tech.
Okay.
You have until
Are you sure?
5:15. I will start. All right.
Show me his number again so I can screenshot it. Yeah, I'm about to call it.
So Deerfield starting with 1 win. It's still best of 3.
And so why did he call you 5 times? Was it just like...
They have until 5:15 to be ready.
Alright. Let's play some Pokemon Unite.
Also, since I know there are people in the stream that are not IHSEA people, like somebody was just in the chat, this is just a preseason, just a community preseason before a high school league begins. This is the grand finals right here. Deerfield is the top team, so we actually got to give them top pick. And then Lane Tech is the bottom team.
Nora the Explorer 31.
That's totally valid. You want to get you your average or plus orders.
All right. Yeah, I do stream daily. And mostly I just stream like me just playing games. Since I'm on winter break, I stream more, but once I go back to college, I will probably stream a little bit less, but I stream at least a few times a week. Mostly Pokemon Unite. Sometimes I'll play other games.
They're preparing it, they said 5 to 15 minutes. And this thing is scrolling pretty fast. For the order status, Nikki Dow.
I'm not gonna lie, if you're calling a place for orders,
I am gonna leave you to commentate this one. I'm gonna still be in VC.
Okay.
I'll be I gotta pick up some food.
All right. How many hours do I stream daily? I don't know. It depends. Most of the time I'm streaming during night, not during the afternoon, because that's when I have classes. So I mostly stream for 2 to 3 hours, I think. So I'm mostly just playing with friends, or solo queuing. Alright. Like, this one's been going on for 3 hours, but that's because it's a tournament, and it's day 2 of the tournament. But yeah. Alright, 2 minutes before we start. Do I have a Discord? Yeah, I have a Discord. This isn't my main streaming channel. This is like for the server that I'm running this tournament in. I have a personal channel. Let me find it. I'll drop my my personal channel, and then you can if you go into a chat, you can do a Discord command. Okay, they're ready. We're gonna start. All right, let's see the first ban here from Deerfield. Delmise, okay. We have not seen a lot of Delmise from Lane Tech, but it has also been banned in most games. There is a Miraidon ban, makes sense. They do have a very strong Miraidon, and Miraidon tends to counter the type of team comp that Lane Tech likes to run. Hoopa ban, targeting the strong Hoopa from Existence. Umbreon ban, they really do not want to face those shut down long-range team comps. Suicune ban, that makes perfect sense. After seeing what Suicune was doing for Lane Tech last game, I am not surprised. Alright, let's see what the first pick is here for Deerfield. It looks like it's going to be a Clefable. They lock in the Gardevoir. That was a big contender for first pick for Lane Tech last game. They did not want Deerfield to have that Gardevoir in their pocket. Looks like they're grabbing the Clefable or the Blissey here. I'm not sure which one they want to prioritize. Clefable does have a pretty hard time into Gardevoir because of all the area damage, and they are going for the Blissey. The Blissey Snorlax. This is a great double combo right at the beginning for Lane Tech. I really like those first two picks. We got a Lapras from Requiem and a Clefable. I do like the Lapras pick here. It's a very tanky Pokemon, can serve as a very frontline tank, but then the Clefable pick could be very useful here, especially with Lapras, just so much healing. And it looks like the Pikachu doesn't really have the AoE right now, if they're still going the Volt Tackle build, to really stop that. We do see a Ceruledge pick from Squirt Gun here for Deerfield, and Espeon. So they are still going that very a backline heavy team comp with an Assassin, but their frontline has a little bit less stuns this game, which is very interesting. I do think I would give the draft to... I think I would give it to Lane Tech here. They have the front line to kind of push through to get to the back line of Deerfield. It is really contingent, though, on this Talonflame playing. And, I mean, from what we've seen before, this could go a very different way. We saw in the past few games, Lane Tech had the Assassin ready to get that back line, but they just could not execute it well enough. So we are really just going to have to see, can they get this Talonflame into the back line? Can they get this Talonflame to actually get the kills? Gardevoir going for jungle here. Talonflame also in jungle. Cerulege and Clefable up top. Espeon and Lapras down bot. Espeon and Lapras is in a pretty oppressive lane, and Trevenant's going to have a hard time getting their levels down here, especially if Pikachu is not saving their secures. Pikachu does manage to get that farm, and Espeon manages to get the other one, but they are definitely chunked a lot more than the other team. Meanwhile, up in top, they are going that all-rounder Snorlax again. Did very well for them in their Unit 5 match. Cerulege looking a little low here, but nothing too major. Talonflame coming up for the gank, so is Gardevoir. This is going to be a very interesting early game because Gardevoir, if they're patient, can very easily shut down Talonflame. There's a kill early on the Cerulege, but they are looking very low here for lane tech. They have Clefable, they have Gardevoir, they're ready to burst this down, but so is the Talonflame. The Talonflame definitely has to be patient. The Talonflame is not patient. They get bursted down so much by the Gardevoir. That was just a really poor play. They did not expect the Gardevoir to be there, and the Gardevoir was just able to get free damage off on them. Blissey just trying to stay alive on this goal zone. Meanwhile, down at bot, Lapras doing a lot of work, and Trevenant just unable to get levels against this early spike of an Espeon. He just has so much early game secure. Meanwhile, up at top, Snorlax still trying to get stacks. He is level 5, even though he died early on. Talonflame has his level 7. He is going to be looking for these dives. He sees Espeon, he sees Lapras here. He doesn't want to go for the dive just yet. Does not know where Gardevoir is. They're going for the rip in mid. Can they get this secure, though? Trevenant manages to get the secure, but Talonflame a little far out without his Brave Bird resets. Manages to get away. There's a 3-person jump down bot. Pikachu face checks a bush, just immediately gets poked down by this Espeon. Just had nowhere to go. Meanwhile, up at top, Cerulege did go down. This Talonflame's getting a little shut down by the gravity. The gravity's proving to be an issue for him. But this Snorlax is just able to get stack after stack after stack and keep his levels up as well. The burn from Cerulege, though, stopping him from getting these scores. He gets a score off, but then immediately dies to the Gardevoir. Talonflame's kind of alone up here as the rest of the team is down bot. What is Talonflame going to be able to really do in this lane by himself? Talonflame still alone here, getting a little poked down. Snorlax is here now. Talonflame going in on this Clefable, but gravity and the stuns just proved to be too much for him. And they both go down here. Blissey showing up late. Trevenant is here, though. Can they make something work with Trev? Pikachu here as well. They did a full rotation to try to save this lane. Gardevoir ult misses tragically. The Pikachu Volt Tackle was just too quick. Cerulege going for the rip here. They do have 4 people up in top. Trevenant manages to stun the Clefable. Clefable gets an ult off. Cerulege goes down to Snorlax. Clefable uses his ult on Trevenant. They can't find the Gardevoir. Gardevoir might get this steal. He does not get the steal. Talonflame is on him. Snorlax is on him, but they just keep managing to stay out of this Talonflame's vision. This Talonflame just does not have the damage or the mobility to really get these kills that he's looking for, leaving everyone on just 1 HP. This is so brutal for the Talonflame. Talonflame gets nicked by that Espeon. Cerulege ult does come out, but does not catch this Pikachu enough. Blissey just trying to keep his team alive, but Pikachu just keeps being too forward. They just keep walking right into the other team. Talonflame going in again, just immediately getting caught out by the gravity, immediately going down. This Talonflame is making a lot of misjudgments on this other team, underestimating how well they can react to his dives. Deerfield gathering up in middle, just trying to get some farm here. No objectives currently on the map. Looks like a sneaky score from Snorlax will go in, breaking the goal zone and giving him probably full stacks at this point. Snorlax getting really caught out here by by 3 members of Deerfield, managing to escape though, popping X speed and flail to just run away. 3 down bot, getting farm. Talonflame coming down from top lane. Maybe trying to look for an instant rip on this objective. Still can't find catches on this Gardevoir or Espeon. This Gardevoir and Espeon still have yet to be KO'd by this Talonflame. Yep, looks like an instant rip from Lane Tech here. They really just want this objective. They want the ability to push with a 6v5, almost failing to secure that. Talonflame super late on the secure. Blissey does go down to the Gardevoir ult, but a big Brave Bird hooking the Gardevoir. Gardevoir just manages to get out, but goes down. The auto lock from Aerial Ace was just too strong. The Espeon ult manages to zone them out for a while here. Talonflame just not really going in. He's just too low to really get anything done. Ceruledge gets the solo rip, and they just have to back off of this goal zone. Espeon and Lapras are just too oppressive. Talonflame has just been unable. That was his first kill on either of the attackers this entire game. Still holding down this top lane goal zone. They definitely just need to make something happen in this Kyogre fight. At this point, there's not much they can do. They have about 30 seconds to rip this middle objective if they want to for either team. But if they do not go for it, it will despawn. They will just have to take their safe farm and kind of build for a Kyogre fight at this point. Looks like no one is going for the middle objective. It does still have 20 seconds to be taken, but I do not believe anyone will be going for it. Lapras is just watching it, playing for vision here. No one is going for it. That middle objective is going to despawn. Snorlax playing for vision up in top. Everyone is just playing for vision, looking for potential catches, stragglers on teams. They see Blissey up here by himself. Ceruledge just backed. The entirety of Lane Tech team is very deep in this pit. Espeon has vision of them in that bush. Lapras comes out with a stun. Looks like they might try to initiate a fight here. Trevenant almost getting caught out, but Trevenant popping an ult. A big Talonflame coming out, getting both attackers here. This could be the fight for them. This could be the fight. Talonflame trying to get catches on this Lapras. Ceruledge having a 1v1 with the red buff here. Is Lane Tech going to go for the rip here? Are they going to... They're opting for a jump, but Ceruledge has vision of them. He knows that they're there. Talonflame sees that, goes for the Ceruledge. Ceruledge gets a big ult along with the Gardevoir ult, but the Snorlax ult saves the Blissey's life with the Buddy Barrier. The healing keeps coming out. They're continuing to get picks, get kills off of Deerfield, but they are not in the point lead. They need to make something happen with Kyogre or a back cap. They are going for the rip now. They have Gardevoir out for only 3 more seconds. But they have Snorlax just running around in their zone here. Blissey coming back. They still do have Pikachu ult and Volt Tackle. They are looking for a stun on Gardevoir here. They have vision of Gardevoir. They know they're up there. Do they get the secure? They do. Pikachu gets the secure with an Electro Ball, managing to secure Lane Tech, that Kyogre, over the Gardevoir just barely. Gardevoir looking a little alone out here. Does manage to dodge the Talonflame. The Talonflame has been really lacking on landing those Brave Birds and these Aerial Aces because this other team has just been really patient with their eject buttons. But that final fight with that jump from Talonflame and that Trevenant ult, they basically all grouped up for that Talonflame and that Trevenant to just get a massive area stun on them. And this is game here. This is just a bunch of scores coming in from Lane Tech. Deerfield really unable to make up the score gap right now. Blissey ult onto the Talonflame ult. Just a massive amount of shielding and HP. That was definitely a very rough game for them in the early game, but Talonflame was able to make a lot happen there. But I gotta give the playmaker, honestly, to Trevenant there in that final fight. They were able to just stay alive, keep their HP up even after all of that poke damage from Deerfield, and they were able to get that chain stun and hit that Unite move that really just set Deerfield back a bit. A pretty interesting game. Deerfield was definitely dominating the early game there, but just kind of fell apart in that late game. They got a little too overconfident, and the Trevenant bait really just worked in their favor. Here's the damage differential. Just a lot of damage coming out from the damage dealers on this team. Pretty solid healing. Not the kind of healing that we've been seeing from Clefable recently. Still pretty good, though. Pikachu, also a very good attacker in those fights. Those Electro Balls were doing a lot of damage. Same with the Snorlax. The Snorlax was just so tanky, so bulky, just always in their face. They were always just having to back up from that Snorlax. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about that. I could not tell that Parneth disconnected. They said Parneth disconnected, but... With who? About the disconnect? Well, yeah, no, we're not pausing it for a disconnect during the game like that. Like, I will really only pause it for crashes before the game, or like right at the beginning. There's no reason to like pause the game for a crash mid game. That you just gotta,
Yeah,
you just gotta
absolutely
keep
not.
playing. You just gotta keep playing. Okay, Lane Tech needs another sub.
Another?
Yeah, they need. Well, Pigar had to leave, so.
Pigar and I could play.
You'd be playing jungle.
My best role. Wow.
Let me see if I can get someone online. Oh, insane. So Yoshimite is asking me what is the advantage of playing Stomp over Triple Axle.
Triple Axel sucks. That's the difference.
Yeah, so I guess my main reason, I guess I'll explain it here if Yoshimite's watching, but then I'll also just DM him later. Basically, it's better burst. Like, it also stuns. It has a micro stun. It's better burst. You can control it better. And I think it's quicker in general. It's just quicker damage because the triple axle, it's slow. Once you use it, you can't cancel it. Like, you're just moving in that direction. You're stuck there. And it's slow damage. It's a lot of healing, but it's just slow damage. I would always just run stomp and drop kick. Drop kick gives shields. It gives chip damage. It covers a big area. It's a good dash. And then you've got what's it called? You've got the burst from stomp for secures, for kills. The boosted version of it heals a good amount.
Now, the only other thing that I really add here, and I've seen this 2 times, and it's been the same person, and he's kicked my ass. It's not Tap. It's just some random ranked guy. He ran hack weight muscle band curse curse with triple axe. Fucked. I could not. So
Yeah.
that's the only might want to run it. I burn.
You're cutting out a lot. I don't know why.
This should be better. No,
Okay.
that should be better.
I
But yeah,
can't- I
that's the
can't
only
find
reason why is for
anyone to
curse.
sub.
And you almost never want to run curse.
Apparently Sfeel's playing in a tournament about something else right now. So he can't play. I'm trying to think, like, who can we get to play?
All right, I'm hopping on. I want this over, bro. I want to play Manhunt, and then I gotta work later.
Okay, they're calling for a tie.
Crazy.
Who's calling? It was Lane Tech is calling for a tie.
Yeah.
I don't think Noodles Pride would allow that.
Yeah.
That's kind of
It's up to you.
Yeah. I'm willing to just. Do they want to postpone? Let's see. Let's see.
You're running a poll on announcements.
Yeah. Insomnia might want to sub if they're cool with that, but
I would just postpone. It's already taking so long, and I feel like it's just gonna take forever.
yeah.
I vote win.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you, Noodles Pride wouldn't allow a
Yeah.
down vote.
Alright. Okay, well, we'll postpone it. I guess we'll just have to find a date for them to play, because I probably cannot do tomorrow, but we'll see.
Yeah. Looks like most people want to postpone. No, don't switch grands to have a reset. That's Smash tournament rules. That's for Smash because they take less time.
Well,
Unite
no,
takes
I mean,
almost an hour and a half.
Unite Grands also have a bracket reset.
Not in most tournaments.
I'm pretty sure they do.
In UCS they don't. Or at least when we played.
I kind of just want to reset the score to 0-0 and just have them play best of 5.
And with a Grands reset?
No, not with a Grands reset. Parneth apparently cannot postpone. I don't think we're going to be able to do a postpone. Well, maybe. Parneth can't play and Coder can't play, but Aurora Veil can play, and then they can get Squirt Gun to subs, so they should be fine.
Wanna know what I think, bro? I think I need big peacemaker.
I don't know. I vote end it now, so we can put Manhunt.
Well, no,
I'm
we're
so
gonna
fucking bored,
end
bro.
it now anyway. Like we're not gonna do any more of this tournament today, regardless.
Okay.
Yeah.